And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's your boy Johnny Dunn, and we are back with another one. Today, another epic VeVe live stream. Today is the second drop of the day. We do have Gary Baseman today, dropping Toby. Shout out to everybody on that first drop today who was able to land something on those stamps. Your boy got another one today, just a rare, so I was happy about that. Seemed like the community was a little upset today, but again, shout out to everyone. I'm glad people are able to learn my strategy on these drops. A lot of people hit it with the spamming technique, so that's great to see too. Both techniques still alive, still working. Unfortunate for those that missed. Hopefully you're able to grab it if you wanted it in the marketplace today. I'm going to be going over the details of Toby from Gary Baseman. Shout out to everybody on the live today joining in a little bit. This is series 1, so I'm pretty confident that we're going to see more and more series from Gary Baseman. So this is the very first one, series 1 from Toby. We got the common 7,777 editions. List price for this blind box today is $50. Each one's going to be $50. We have 2 commons. So the second common today is Toby running. 7,777 editions for this common. That first one is just welcoming. That's the name of that pose. It's just him standing there welcoming. So 2 commons for today. I think that's another reason why maybe some people might have been a little bit upset, just because they want to see, either a fully animated collectible who can do all the poses, or maybe just one collectible, one pose. So I can understand that, but this one's really for Gary Baseman's fans. I mean, I think the fans of this artist will probably collect a full set. We have the uncommon 5,555 editions. Let's see. This one is called Lounging. That's Toby lounging around. Head over heels for this one. This is Toby doing a handstand. We got 4,444 editions for the rare. Then we have the ultra rare. Looks like Toby's laughing, a little snickering. 3,333 editions. It's the ultra rare. This is what Johnny does every time he lands a drop. The JD snickering like he got another. Then the secret rare, 1,960 editions. Again, $50. Now, I know there's a lot of complaints in the community about this drop, and I just want to say, VeVe's going to have something for everybody. Is it going to be every single week, every single drop that you're going to be into it? Maybe not, and that's perfectly okay. We got Miss Rose in the building. Shout out to Miss Rose. Had a little strategy of what may go down later in the day once we get the live stream filling up. It's probably going to be around drop time. I think that's when a lot of people may join the live stream today, and that's probably when I'm going to announce my giveaway. Let's go. Shout out to Miss Rose for giving me the idea. I think it's going to be pretty funny later on. Noble Matt, you might be the only YouTuber going for this. That's hilarious. And my strategy for this one, just because I don't have a lot of gems on me right now, I will go for the drop. I'm going to try to land one just because I love that feeling of timing it right, getting it. It may not sell out right away, and I understand that. So my strategy, I'm going to go for it. I may not confirm it this time, though. I may kind of do what Miss Rose did on that drop just a little bit ago, a few days ago, when she got the drop but decided not to confirm it just because she thought it may go under retail. She got a common type thing. And I'm kind of, for this drop, I expect the secret rare to do well. I expect the secret rare to kind of go up in value. Same maybe with the ultra rare. But I think it may take some time for his fan base really to come on VeVe. Maybe for the interoperability, that's when a lot of these artist collectibles, I think, will start to shine. But I think it may take some time for some of these lower rarities to start to do better. Maybe once more of his fan base gets on to VeVe. He does have like 200,000 followers on Instagram. So, I mean, he's a pretty big time artist. It's just that maybe a lot of us in the community may not really be that familiar with this artist. And that's okay, Kind of goes back to what I was saying just a little bit ago, to where they may drop something in a week where none of us has ever heard of it, right? Could still be really valuable around the world. And just the opposite too. A lot of these bigger IP brands like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, that's what a lot of people are into, a lot of demand. But there's going to be plenty of people in the community who don't like those big Disney drops, those Disney collectibles. A lot of people are going to be into the artist collectibles alone because they like the art. So everyone kind of has their own different game plan, their strategy, own situation, their own collecting niches. It's one of those things where me personally, you guys know by now, I'm more of a fan of those Disney Superman, Batman, because big brands, that's just something I'm a fan of. I think they're gonna be a pretty safe bet long term. But there's plenty of people out there who love to collect the artist collectibles, the artwork just from these artists, and that's okay too. It doesn't mean that's a worse or better situation. It's just collectors collect, and they're gonna be into their own little niches. And I definitely expect the artist collectibles to do well. once the interoperability hits and we're able to send these artist collectibles to IMX, Immutable X, be able to sell them on with OMI or Ethereum, etc. So I think they're definitely going to do well once the interoperability hits. Raj, how we doing, brother? How we doing, fam? We got Azuka Gaming in the building. What's up, brother? Raj, what's my vault value? It's more than what I put in, I'll say that. Shout out to my coffee gators out there. I had to get a new coffee. It's a little hot now. It was like cold last time. It was like cold brew almost by the time the stream happened, last drop. But, it fluctuates up and down. Actually, to be honest, I haven't even checked what my vault value was, the specific number. Probably in a few weeks now. Maybe in about a month. I'll start like checking it when we had that run up in early January or mid-January. That was, I was showing a lot of pictures just to my family, my grandma, my parents, just to kind of show them like, look what we did. Because this wasn't just me. I definitely say it's a team effort. I put that research in early March 1st, all for 21 days. I always say those 3 weeks were life-changing for me. But if I didn't have the financial backing, if I wasn't living with my parents, if I didn't have my grandmom to be able to help us out, I probably have a handful of collectibles right now. So I was that close, this close from not going all in. So close too. So just unbelievable that it was a fork in the road decision for me. It was I've only had a couple of these. I chose baseball over golf when I was 11 years old. I still think short-term, bad decision, long-term, best decision I made. Another fork in the road happened March 2021. I chose to go all in when I was so close to stopping. So close to stopping at just a couple collectibles. I did my research and I trusted my research, went all in. That was the fork in the road moment for me. I was able to capitalize on that moment, stack up duplicates, and increase my collection because of that. So, I don't have an exact number for you, Raj. And also, I probably wouldn't say my exact number either. Just because, I would love to come out and say it, but every time I do, I feel like there's always people out there. He's just bragging and all kinds of stuff. So, I don't like to say the exact numbers, but definitely a lot more than what I put in. That's for sure. If I was the guess right now, probably, give or take a little bit, maybe a couple 100,000, but definitely not what it was when it was at that peak January. But again, I'm grateful. I'm blessed to be in this position. Definitely feel kind of tapped out right now, though. So, I went all in. It was the best decision of my life. And I've been trying to, let go of a couple of duplicates along the way to kind of increase my collection. Because if I didn't stack up on those Todds earlier on, those FA Jokers, FA Harley Quinns, no way I would have been able to. Even the FE Joe M's I stacked up on. A lot of my duplicates I let go. People know by now to get that Walt, that first Walt. Excuse me. In that like 2K range. I got my second one in that 3K range. So unbelievable. And a lot of these, I'm trying to hold on to a lot of these for passive income one day. I do believe renting will be a game changer. So with that, being able to maybe make a little fee for an entrance fee of my showroom, maybe it's a gem to enter, maybe a 2-gem all-day pass type thing. I don't want to rip people off and make it, 50 gems to enter my showroom. I want something to where I can make a fee, I can make a little income that way, but also make it affordable because at the end of the day, I want people to come in my showroom. So I feel like those are two of my game plans right there. Long-term passive income by renting, showrooms, brand deals, sponsorships one day, I could imagine. So just led. Good afternoon. Man, you are a legend for your timing. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate that big time. And it's one of those things where I just want to go over real quick. A lot of people still are confused how I'm able to get these drops. Now, I think it's a combination of a little bit of skill and a lot of luck. I always say it's kind of like poker. I don't think it's 100% luck because if it was 100% luck, I would probably go in the Guinness Book of World Records for being as lucky as I am. Now, I do think I'm probably one of the luckiest people in the world, but the fact that I feel like I came up with a game plan and I just consistently keep hitting, there's probably somewhat of a thing going on there that I have an idea of what's happening. So my theory has always been, instead of seeing buy now pop up and then reacting and pressing, because no matter how quick you are, you can only react so quick. I joke all the time, I'm alien, but I'm human. Whether that's half human, half alien, regardless, whatever you believe, humans only have a certain reaction time. So if you're sitting there waiting to see buy now pop up and then press, no matter how fast you are, by the time you react to see buy now and then press, I've already pressed it. So that's the kicker that people don't realize. They think I just have crazy fast fingers, and it's like, okay, maybe I do have a little bit faster reflexes or faster fingers, whatever you want to call it. I really don't. I mean, maybe a tiny bit, but I don't think that's the game changer. I think the game changer is understanding the process. It's hard to really get your body to press something that's not there. So, and same thing with sports. It's hard as a quarterback to throw the ball to an empty spot, and the wide receiver then is just magically going to time there and get it because of that timing route. I'll go over all my strategies and analogies today as well too, because some people who are into sports, they may really understand that sports analogy. Some people who aren't, it may just go right over their head, which is perfectly fine too. You know, a lot of people. Shout out to Zachary Roy from the Palace. I'm not sure if he's tuned in today or not, but you know, he told me when he told me that the sports analogy really helped him, I was like, okay, good. I felt like it could help a lot of people, and it has helped some others, but this one really gave me confidence that, like, okay, this is the right way to kind of show my example to people for them to understand, because it's hard to say exactly, you know, press before you see buy now. It's like, it's hard to really imagine that. So a sports analogy I always use, I talk about it last live stream too. If I'm the quarterback and I have a timing route with the wide receiver, maybe it's 10 steps up and he does a curl, right? So I'm not going to wait and say, hike, wait for his 10 steps. He's wide open. He's waving. Pass it to me. I throw it to him, because by the time the ball gets there, it's probably going to be picked off, right? So to help that, if he's double covered or something like that, I'm still going to have a timing route with him. 10 steps up, and on your 10th step, turn around. And so I'm going to say hike. I'm going to be watching him a little bit, whether that's watch him directly, corner of my vision, whatever the case is, counting his steps out there. So you're timing it. His 10th step, I'm throwing the ball probably as soon as he hits the 9th step, because by the time the ball gets there, he's going to look, boom, and catch it. And defender's going to be like, wow, how'd you do that, etc. Because you time it. You time the route. The same way I'm timing the buy now. If I sat here, ready? If I sat here, this may not be a perfect example of this drop, because this drop may not sell out instantly, but I'm still going to go for it. If I was to sit here and wait 3, 2, 1, 0, buy now, and then press, that delay, if it's something that's going to sell out instantly, that delay is going to ruin it. Because I'm saying buy now and then pressing it. By the time my thumb clicks it, people are already going to press it because they're spamming away. Like, so when you're spamming it, you're basically almost timing it without any control. Because there's plenty of times where you're going to be spamming it, and you happen just to press down as soon as the buy now pops up. There's going to be times where your thumb's in the air and the buy now is up. So because of that, I feel like I can have a little bit more manual control. Plenty of times where I do it wrong. I'm too early. You guys seen it. I feel embarrassed when I do it too early. Not embarrassed, but it's that feeling of like, you don't even give yourself a chance, you know? Not embarrassed because I missed, but it's like in golf. If I sit there and it's in the middle of the fairway and I chunk it and the ball goes like 10 yards, it's an embarrassing feeling because you don't even give yourself a chance to put the ball in the hole, you know? I'd rather top the ball and have it just roll all the way up. At least you have a chance for it to roll up on the green. And sometimes I feel like when I tap it too early or too late and I still somehow get it, that's what it feels like. It feels like I had a terrible shot, but it just ran up there and luckily got near the green. So again, I'm going to go over this way this time. Maybe you can see it a little bit. I don't think you can even see the time though. So I'll just count the time out loud. There's 45 minutes. I'm going to act like there's 0 minutes, 15 seconds. So I would probably back out and come back in with like 45 seconds to make sure the timers sync. But 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. By now, I probably would have got that. Like I probably would have hit that. So again, maybe not, maybe a little early, but I felt like my timing right there is pretty solid. One thing that I like to do, I'm going to click this notify me button. That way I don't accidentally click it. And then I'm going to back out, come back into the drop. This way it's already clicked. That notify me button, you can't click it now by accident. The only thing you have to worry about accidentally clicking is this drop-down menu. The reason why I like to leave it closed is because if you do have it open and you do the drop, the buy now button is going to slightly move on you. That's why I used to like when the buy now button would already be up, because I didn't realize that this would affect it. But now that I know that this, when you close it, the buy now button's always going to pop up right in between. It's a yellow background now, so that sliver line, like right here, right below that description box, right above the notify me. 1, 0, buy now. And that probably would have been perfect. Again, I'm not waiting to see the buy now and then pressing it. I'm thinking of when the buy now is going to pop up. And so right before it pops up, I'm starting my press down. And that's why I feel like it feels so amazing. Anybody who one taps it and gets the drop successfully, you'll understand why I love the feeling, because it's hard. It's hard to beat this feeling in anything in the world, I'll be honest. Because when you one tap this and you get it successfully on something that's going to sell out immediately, you're beating out hundreds of thousands of people. And the fact that you click it one time, it just feels unbelievable. Just got a comment. Oh, okay. A lot of people are still answering the question I put out there the other day. I'm going to reply to a lot of these. I haven't got a chance to reply to them just yet. Shout out to Pixel Jam. I like BMO. I was talking about one of his favorite collectibles. It was on the wrong account. What did you? Azuka Gaming. Oh, okay, Zukaverse. I thought he sounded familiar. I remember Zuka. I just didn't know it was Zukaverse. Zuka Gaming. You have a gaming channel? Live stream games? I'll have to subscribe to it. Let me get to some of these comments. So I'm going to get to the market too as well. See if anything's changed. I'll go over the drop that just happened, see what these are doing. Let's see. The drop that just happened today. I didn't get a secret rare or anything like that, but I did get a cool mint number. I don't think it's anything crazy valuable, because it is 2002 this year. But I got a 2001 rare stamp, which I like that mint number. I'm going to start collecting 2001 mints and 2020 mints, because 2020 was the first year VeVe was launched privately. 2021 was the first year VeVe was launched publicly. So I feel like 2021, those numbers, I never really even thought about it. It didn't really stand out to me as like an interest. But as soon as I got this mint number, 2021, it's grown on me. I like this mint a lot. So it's something that I thought about. I was like, you know what? I may start collecting 2021 mints. A few years from now, that could be a huge mint number. It's like, that's the first year VeVe was launched publicly. And then, of course, I think people put an emphasis on 2020 because that's the first year VeVe was launched privately. But that's something that I don't think will start to gain value because of those special mints until VeVe's that household name, maybe a few more years. Remember this? Good morning, good afternoon, just led. Whenever these, good luck, good luck. I'm not sure, Michael Gordon. I think short term, possibly. But I think long term, it's just going to look as an opportunity, I feel like, to get anything under retail. I said this when the DeLorean dropped. We had the DeLorean, 50,000 mints for the common. People said, I'm throwing that in the trash. People were pissed. People were so much FUD like it is now. People are saying VeVe's sinking. VeVe's done. VeVe's ruined. They hopped onto other NFT platforms. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with trying out other NFT projects or platforms, I want every project to do well. If you can diversify, make some money here, make some money there, go for it if that's what you want to do, But I just think once people started to say VeVe was sinking, VeVe was ruined, all this FUD, I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. And so those DeLorean commons went down to $13, believe it or not. $30 retail down to $13. People didn't buy them because they said, too many mints, too many editions, They didn't have that long-term vision. And so imagine, spending a couple thousand getting those common DeLoreans at $13. People said they crashed from 150 or 160, what it was, back down to 90 now. They didn't zoom out, or they just weren't here, so they're unaware, uneducated, and they didn't want to take the time to talk to some OG, say, what was the price of that before? Has it been lower than 95? It's been $13, So imagine that. Imagine the people who come in now and they scoop up, say, all these Electra. That's why I bought the Electric Secret Rare 200, because I don't think, a secret rare, collectible, ultimate animated, is going to stay at $200. Now, I don't think it's going to be the most expensive secret rare because that the popularity isn't there of this character, Electra. But I do think it's popular enough to where when it's a secret rare, it's ultimate animated. Who knows what the possibility utility of that is in the future? People speculate it could be in some kind of game, who knows? But I've just seen things, go for a crazy low price before, wait a couple months, things skyrocket. Anything under retail, I think, is a blessing, just an opportunity, in my opinion. Not a financial advisor, not financial advice, but it depends how long you can hold, Those common DeLoreans didn't go from 13 to 160, in a day or even a month or two. It took a few months. But I always say anything under retail, especially that far under retail, even if it just doubles, some of this stuff, that's under retail could double and still be below retail. So that tells me there's a huge opportunity. But it's not attractive, it doesn't feel enticing like you should be buying these because no one's buying it right now. They're below retail. It's like the Tide effect when it was in store. Can you just imagine? I can't even fathom. I can't even imagine. And I was part of it. I was telling people to buy Todd McFarlane Batmans, go hard, buy the first NFT ever on VeVe. A lot of people just looked at me like I was an idiot, literally called me an idiot. I was like, I'm just trying to help. It's like, why would I take advice from you? And it's like, all right, now we got an ego involved. It's like, I'm just trying to help, I saw an opportunity, tried telling the world. People told me there's too many mints, too many editions. It'll never sell out. Well, I'm glad, as they say, I drank the VeVe Kool-Aid. Wow, Low Mint Poo, 42 and 144. Shout out to you, NFTs. Those are great mints. And you got a duplicate Winnie the Pooh. I think people will be happy with that. That they stacked up on some Winnie the Poohs. 144 mint is serious right there. That James feeling in the building. Ooh. Amazing Spider-Man number 3. I'm not the most familiar with the issue numbers off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure this is Doc Ock. Let me find out. If it's either Doc Ock or it's let's go Spider-Man number 3. It is Doc Ock. I thought it was either Doc Ock or Green Goblin. I wasn't sure what Green Goblin was. That's number 14. I love Doc Ock. I think Doc Ock, from everything I've learned with comic books, Doc Ock is a pretty popular. Amazing Spider-Man number 3, the first appearance of Doc Ock, is a pretty important book. It's 317 right now. I have one of these, Jade. I don't have 2 of them. So you're thinking about letting that one go. For what? Spider-Man FA Uncommon. Is this part of the first Marvel NFTs you're talking about? Or do you mean like the uncommon Ben Reilly? Do you have any of these other FA Spider-Mans, Jabe, from that first ever Spider-Man set? Because if you said no, I would probably try and get at least one of these rarities, whether that be the common, uncommon, rare. I just think, for me personally, as a collector, I think it's going to be important to have the first ever Marvel NFT. That's before the Marvel comic books and everything. Now, I think Doc Ock is a great comic book. So maybe, Jay, if you sell that ultra rare, maybe try to at least get a common or something like that of that book, because that book is a pretty popular and in-demand book. Shout out to Comics and Crypto. I'm going to go to their comic book ranking right now. Something I like to do all the time, go to their Twitter. Shout out to Comics and Crypto. 10.5K followers. Let's run them up. He's about to have 20K followers soon. I like to go to his link tree. He's got his own personal ranking. So this isn't like, it's not, what is the word here? It's not like, this is just his opinion at the end of the day. But I like to definitely pick his mind. He definitely knows what he's talking about with comics. So I'll go to VeVe comic book rankings. And he has Amazing Spider-Man number 3 high up there. Let's see where it is. His ranking, it's his 10th ranked comic book right now. So, he definitely has a pretty high value on that one. So the physical world value of the highest grade is $290,000. The 9.8. I guess that's the highest grade. There could be a higher grade than that, but the highest grade available, that's how much that book sells for in real life. So that's why I say maybe if you sell that one, Jay, maybe go back and get yourself at least one common. I'm sure the low mint commons will probably be expensive too, though. But if it's for the FA of the first ever Marvel NFT Spider-Man, I would say maybe I would do that. Just because that is the first Marvel NFT. I love Doc Ock. I love that comic. I have the ultra rare too. I would still try to at least get part of that book, whether it be the common or whatever the case is. The common is the original cover, so that's why I've been a huge proponent on those low mint commons, because in my eyes, that's like me being able to collect that real physical counterpart book in one of the low grades, because obviously we've had that big discussion in the community. Grades aren't equal to deterioration or anything like that. It's just with the mint numbers, it's more of like, in my eyes, the lower the mint number, the higher the grade. And that's kind of why I think Comics and Crypto and Shab and all those guys, Cherry Charts too, I think that's why they came up with that system. It's obviously has nothing to do with deterioration, because these comics don't deteriorate. It's more of like a mint ranking system. And low mints have always been gone for a premium in the market. And as a collector, that's something that I just wanted to go after. I'm just fortunate, grateful, and lucky that everybody else in the community decided to go for low mint commons as well. But again, I think that just shows more about collectors collecting. I think people are all going to get into their own niches. I know some people who collect 00 at the end of their digits. They love those, and that's a little niche right now too. But I'm sure that's going to grow into a big phenomena of collectors. So that's why I always say too, collect what you love, because you never know when you're going to be ahead of the curve on things. Right now, I feel like collecting the VeVe exclusive covers isn't even really a huge thing that people are doing, at least publicly loud. But I think that's a real thing that people are going to start trying to collect. Either they're doing it now kind of low key, or in the future, they're going to come out and really start to talk about, I have all the VeVe exclusive covers, etc. type thing. So that's something that I'm not trying to collect every single one right now, but I do like adding some VeVe exclusive ultra rare covers if they come out cheap, and I'm a fan of it just because I do like the art on some of them. But it just goes back to collect what you love, because you could be ahead of the curve on a lot of things. Yeah, and that's perfectly all good too, Jabe. I know a lot of people had that same feeling too. So that's why for me personally, if I get the drop and get to that confirmed purchase, I may not hit confirm today. I may just try to see if I can get one, because that's the feeling that I really like. And if I'm not completely into the drop, just because I don't have thousands of gems right now, I'm trying to stack my gem bag a little bit. But I'm trying to be strategic too, because I don't want to let go of too many collectibles too early. Let's see that strategy. Let's go. I will be talking about it in just a little bit. We still got over 30 minutes to the drop. You need a JD versus bot 1v1 so we see who's actually faster. I think there's going to be a lot of dubs too on this one, Miss Rose. I think that's one reason why I'm not going to hit confirm. I'm probably going to go with your strategy today, just because I only have like 50 gems left right now. How many do I have? I think I only have like 60 maybe. I have 69. What are the chances, right? I have 69 gems left, so I don't know if I'm going to be spending them all on this drop, but I'm going to try at least go for the drop. Hopefully I get it, and then I probably just won't hit confirm. Thanks, and I never knew about the notify me. Absolutely, Omar. Glad you figured that one out, or you learned that one. And it's one of those things where you don't have to do that, but especially if you're spamming away, I think it's definitely a good thing to touch on, just because that way you have to be so perfect and precise on your spam and click, to where if you click that, it could mess things up, to where this way you don't have to, you can be kind of a little bit more wild, I guess, without pressing this one. Like, it helps because you don't have to stay inside the lines. It's like, you know what it is? It's like bowling. You're putting bumpers on one side of the lane. It's crazy. I just related another thing to a sport. I don't even play bowling, but I do like bowling though. It was pretty decent. Shout out to Taps Trades. I know he's a bowler out there. We definitely got to go bowling sometime. You know what I like to do when I was a kid? I used to like to go to those lock-ins. I don't know if anyone ever heard of a lock-in. Basically, it's like a sleepover at a bowling or a bowling alley. You just bowl all night. All right, so it's like putting bumpers on one side of the alley. You know, if you had bumpers on both, that'd be great. You know, you don't have to worry about this one. But it's like having bumpers on one side of the bowling alley. You can throw it against that wall as hard as you want, you know? But it just helps because that way you can kind of lean towards one side. Doesn't really affect me too much when I'm trying to time it. But at least now I know, you know, I can click a little bit lower and I won't get the drop down menu. Just helps a little bit. He's back, baby. We got Jay Kill in the building. What up, VeVe Pioneer? Yeah, and Jo, absolutely. I mean, if you're a collector and you're not into the mint numbers, that's okay too. Just because some people are or most people are, and they do sell for a premium in the market, doesn't mean you have to go after them, right? If you think mints are overhyped and it's not something that you're interested in, don't go for those low mints. That's an opportunity for you to where if you did get a low mint, or maybe you see an extremely low mint for cheap, maybe you buy it, or you just luck out, get a low mint on a drop. That's a time when you flip that, I think, in my opinion. Maybe sell that for that premium, you know, to a collector who really wants that low mint. You pocket that cash, and then if you really, or pocket the gems, I should say. And then if you really want that collectible, go back and buy that floor. And if not, you know, you just made a great flip. Even if you did buy that floor, you would still be able to profit the difference of those of that premium price compared to that floor price. There's been plenty of times where I'll list the high mint at floor because there's a cheap low mint right above it. Maybe spend just a tiny bit extra gems to grab that low mint if I think it's a big difference. And there's been times vice versa where I'll not floor, but I'll sell one of my low mints above the floor at a decent price, and then hopefully it sells or it does sell, and I'll buy back the floor, profit the difference there. Just depends on if you want that low mint or not for that collectible. I agree, Henry. I think people are just either they don't want to put more money in and they feel like they put enough money in, or they're just tapped out. You know, I think that has a lot to do with maybe why when we see a big drop, we see some things dip in the market because people are going after that new drop, as opposed to, you know, I think it would help too if this was all liquid. I think that would be, excuse me, game changer. I feel like I burp a lot too. I have a lot of burps. 26 minutes to the drop. And I will be going over do I have a giveaway today? Miss Rose gave me a great idea today. We may have a little giveaway for, you know, there's a lot of negative energy in the community lately. You know, people upset that I won again when I'm really just trying to help everybody out, pick my brain about how I'm able to get these drops. So I thought it'd be funny. We got FA tissues for all the haters out there. So any haters want a tissue? Oh man. I had to do that. It's just one of those things, you know. I know a lot of people are gonna be complaining out there, but you know, it is what it is. You know, people don't complain when I don't get a drop. But when I do get a drop, we'll see people complain. Like I said before, I think it's just built up frustration. You know, a lot of people may, you know, be missing on the drop. Maybe markets are down. You know, maybe some delays happen. They're upset. You know, that built up frustration. It just, anytime they see somebody do something great or successful or happy, it kind of makes them angry. They just want to try to pull them down a little bit just because maybe they're feeling miserable. And it's okay. You know, that's why I usually don't try to lash out on anyone, because you never know what's going on in someone's personal situation. But absolutely, Jo. Yeah, mints are for everybody, you know. Not everybody's a low mint collector type thing. What? I did not see this. The Twitter live stream yesterday? No, Noble Matt did not see that. Did not see that. I agree with this, Henry. You know, we've seen this plenty of times. You know, most people aren't, you're 100% right on this. Most people are just in the micro, you know, they're just in the right now. What are these prices right now? It's not booming tomorrow. All right, well, I don't want it. But we've seen it happen time after time again. The Marvel Comics #1. Marvel Comics #1. The comic got released, you know, sold out, you know, not even in a second, but I would say in about a minute or two, sold out. Secondary, everybody's excited. What's the prices? The common resold $1.99. we were all like, what? $2? This is a $7 blind box, right? This is the first comic book ever, right? We're all scratching our heads like, what's happening? And so people didn't understand. I didn't even capitalize on the moment as much as I should have. And so the people who did swept the floors. I mean, we've seen the comic at what, $700 at its high. Just think of that. Think if you swept the floor. You had a couple thousand, right? You swept the floor and bought $2 comics. That same comic was sold for over $600, $700. Probably like $300 right now, but $2. I'm not saying, you know, anything under retail is going to be booming, like thousands of dollars. But again, DeLorean Common, $13. Now, it's too late now to check, but I mean, got up to 160. It's probably like at what, $80 right now, $90 right now. Imagine taking a couple thousand and sweeping the floors when it was $13. Instead of listening to the distractions, the FUD, VeVe sinking, VeVe's ruined, this platform's so much better, I'm leaving. Oh, think of the people that just stayed convicted, right? Yes, first Marvel NFT, baby. Let's go, Jabe. Yeah, Ronnie Lido. My opinion on this drop, you know, I think this is a drop for his fans. You know, Gary Baseman has 200,000 followers on Instagram. You know, he's definitely a legendary artist. I think his fans will eventually gravitate towards digital collecting, the VeVe app, find his work, and get into it. I'm sure he's going to release multiple works in the future, probably series 2, 3, you know, and so on, maybe even different artwork in the future. So just like Ron English has his fan base, Jermaine Rogers, Frank Kozik, you know, Simone Legnu, all these artists on the app, it's just a great way to where you can have these artists that are either upcoming or already have a fan base to be on the same app as Disney, Marvel, Givenchy. You know, you're on the same platform as these legendary brands. It's great for these artists as a breakthrough. And if you don't like the drop, you know, if it's not for you or you don't want to get it or risk maybe going on the retail in the short term type thing, you don't have to go for the drop. I think it's going to get to a point where VeVe does have so many drops, either weekly, daily, whatever the case is, you probably won't be able to go for every single drop. Al Khan's always said how we're like the Walmart of NFTs, probably like the Amazon of NFTs. You can't shop on every aisle and just put everything into your cart. You know, if you're walking through Walmart or Amazon, I mean, we may want to. Plenty of times where we want this, we want that, but sometimes you get to that checkout and you say, I can't afford all this, right? So it's okay if you don't want to go for this one. I mean, me personally, I don't have enough gems. So I would have to probably ruin all my gems right now. And I don't want to add any more. I did just add a little bit more recently. So I just want to see if I can get the drop. And I probably won't confirm this one. It'll probably be the first one ever just because I don't have a lot of gems. And I think I have 69 gems right now. So my game plan is to try to stack some gems. If you already have one FA Spider-Man Uncommon, Jabe, you may want to just keep that comic. I mean, big catalyst for comics coming soon. So maybe sell it into the hype. Once we find out we can put these comics on our profile showroom, I imagine only maybe a month or so away from that. I mean, we know it's coming soon. Coming in a little bit. Little bit's the new word. Yeah, not a bad plan at all, Henry. I think probably the only one that, you know, the couple that may not be, I think the couple that may do pretty well is that Secret Rare, Ultra Rare. And again, this is why it's great that VeVe is going to have something for everybody, because a new user coming in right now may think like, especially when we have the Master Collector program roll out. I want to touch on this too. I'm trying to touch on a bunch of things at once. You know, a lot of people are coming out right now and saying, oh, I can't wait to the new system. So you struggle. It's like, yeah, the new system, I'll probably be one of the few people that doesn't get as many drops. And I'm okay with that because, you know, I've already been blessed. I want to see people be happy, enjoy the app. So I'm okay with that, you know. But also I've built myself up with those Master Collector program points to where I probably will have a pretty good advantage on some of these drops using those lottery points. So people will see that, you know, new users will see that and say, oh, they only reward whales. Well, it's like you could have became a whale if you bought the stuff on the retail. And if you still can't afford all the stuff on the retail, you know, This set right here, this set's going to be amazing for Master Collector Program points. Same with the stamp drop. That's why I think a lot of these lower valuable, quote unquote, valuable collectibles in the short term are great for new users, because there's going to come a point in time where new users complain, probably saying, oh, the Master Collector Program only rewards the whales, right? The people that have been here forever. Well, they can come to the app right now. Let's just say, example, this one does go into retail, right? Just because that's what you guys are thinking. They can come to the app right now, buy 2 for 6 collectibles for a set that includes an ultra rare, secret rare for, let's see how much it comes out to, right? So that's going to be a crazy amount of daily Master Collector Program points. Same with the stamps that just dropped. Amazing Master Collector Program points. And it's going to stay cheap until they roll out what that Master Collector Program, the benefits, it's all, set in stone. Watch the prices of all the stuff that was under retail. Once all that stuff happens, things are going to skyrocket, in my opinion. Got 18 minutes left for the drop. That's definitely a good thing, too. I mean, that's a good thing about getting duplicates, Jabe, because when you do have the dupe, you can always HODL one, sell one. This is not bragging at all, Jabe. This is inspiring, motivating new people. Not bragging, but I remember having nothing in my wallet. Just low-key alligator, now 25 comics, 9 pretty solid collectibles, and Miss Queen, Finn, Mike Waz, under 1,000 mint, and the 1040 Mickey. Let's go, Jabe. See, I bet you probably could never even imagine you having that much when you first started, right? But that's all it does, man. Things change so quickly. All it takes is one lucky drop. I don't even think you've gotten a secret rare collectible yet. I think you've gotten that secret rare comic. It didn't happen to be, the most valuable, but still, I mean, it just takes a couple of drops or even just a couple opportunities in the market. You grab some stuff when it's low. I mean, Winnie the Pooh came out at like 270 maybe. I mean, grab 2 of them. I think you just profited a good amount if you did that. Drop the like button. Appreciate that big time. Get wild on this, man. Yeah, I think that was the example I was given. You're a human bot. So I call myself the alien. Shady giveaway. I feel like that was Miss Rose's idea. She gave me. I thought it was a great idea. Shout out to Miss Rose one time. FA tissues for all the haters. I did not, oh wait, this wasn't the comment. Here it is. I did not complete the stamp set. I probably should have, just because it was so cheap, but I only have 69 gems right now. So I didn't complete that set, but I think it's an easy, great Master Collector Program set to get. If it stays cheap after this drop or after this live stream, I probably will complete it. Get that secret rare while it's still like $120. But it's a possibility. Deep dish Johnny. I like the username. It's a possibility those two go under. These are fire. Yeah, a lot of people like this art. I like the way it looks. Never heard of Toby before, but I like the way it looks. What up, JD? Didn't join the earlier drop. Did you win, Katsu Manchu? I did. I got another one, man. I got fortunate with a pretty cool mint number. I mean, nothing crazy valuable or anything like that. 2001. 2001 mint number. Got a rare. Nothing crazy, but another originally owned JD drop collectible. These are long-term holds. Diamond Hands, love the username. I think long-term hold is a good analogy, just because short-term, I don't think they're going to do amazing right away. Until that interoperability comes our way, I think that's going to be huge for it. And I think once Gary Baseman's fans come onto the app, I mean, he has 200,000 followers on Instagram. He's already a legendary artist. That would be a nice JD giveaway. Just for the haters, Paul. Exactly. Absolutely, Henry. And that's the thing, too. I mean, I usually ignore all the hate, but today I just feel like having fun. I just like having some fun going back with them. Usually I ignore all the hate, but like I said, today I wanted to have some fun engaging back with them. Because I want to let people know, too, it's as hard as it is. Like, shout out to you, Henry, for keep on trying and keeping a positive attitude, because I bet it is frustrating, missing so many times, seeing people keep hitting, but at the same time, I want to do these drops and hit them and show you guys that it is possible still. Like, it's hard. You're not going to get it every time. Even if you time it perfect, doesn't guarantee it. I think that's what a lot of people too get confused. They say, oh no, I timed it perfect a couple weeks ago and I didn't get it. It's like, yeah, how many times I've timed it perfect, felt like, yeah, I got it, had to have gotten it. Oh, didn't get it. But you see a lot of times now where I feel like I got it, I say I got it, and I got it. I feel like it's a queue system for anybody who times it in a certain time. So say we all time the timing method on stream, right? And say out of 44 people right now, say 20 of us do it exact timing. Well, 20 of us are probably out of tens of thousands of people who timed it exactly right. So because of that, and there's only a limited amount of additions, it's probably going to put us all in a queue, and it's probably just going to be randomly distributed at that point. That's why sometimes I'll time it perfect, I don't get it. Sometimes you time it perfect, you don't get it. Next time you time it perfect and you get it. That's what I feel like. So sorry to hear that you haven't hit in so long, Henry. Hopefully we can change that. We got 13 minutes to drop. I'm going to be going over my strategy after I get to a few more comments. Oh, man, see Rios. Black Panther really hasn't, the secret rare really hasn't gone up too far. I think 2.1 was like the 2.2 was the highest I saw it at. Usually it's been flowing like 1.5, 1.3K. I have that full set. I got that one on the drop. I'm afraid to let that one go. I feel like as soon as I sell that secret rare Black Panther, it's going to take off this summer. I think there is another movie coming out. I think Black Panther is kind of just gaining its popularity recently over the years. A couple of the Chippendale golden moments, though. The ultra rare golden moment. That's finally up there around like 600. Man, oh man, oh man. You may be able to profit because you'll have that duplicate Chippendale at that point. Kind of like Jabe going with that duplicate Spider-Man. Man, it's tough. I do love the animation on that Black Panther secret rare. I only have one of those though. I've thought about letting it go, but I just hold it. I'm holding that full set. That full set's pretty good with the MCP points. Yeah, absolutely, Ronnie Lido. Not a bad idea. That's kind of how I feel too. I love the drop and the honors, but I'm not gem rich. Exactly. That's how I feel, man. Someone just got on me the other day saying that I see him selling all the time. It's like, really? I have 69 gems. People act like it's a problem now to reinvest in collectibles. So that's why I had to. It's one of those. That was probably one of those comments where like 99% of the time I wouldn't even respond. I said, this guy don't even know what he's talking about. Because anyone who knows Johnny knows that I'm a hodler. Will I let go a few duplicates or a couple collectibles I don't love to reinvest in some collectibles I don't have yet? Absolutely. But for anyone to say that I sell all the time, it just doesn't know me. So that's why I had to post a video of my whole entire collection and say, yeah, I sell all the time. It's just one of those things, where most of the time, negativity, I don't even respond to, but sometimes, once in a while, a few days, I like to have fun and, respond back to some people. Exactly. See, Henry, this is what happens when you just blow up too quick. They expected like 40,000 users first year. They got, hundreds of thousands. So, it's part of the growing pains of when you just blow up too quick and you're the number one platform in the world. People take shots. People come at you. People want this. People want that. People think they know more than the people who founded the company. It's crazy the things I've heard. Yeah, I agree. I think people are sleeping on comics. MTL is coming. MTL is here already. This is what I mean. People just don't know. People just want to create FUD. Whether you want to create FUD or not, you're creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt. MTL is here. It's rolled out. It's being rolled out slowly in waves, just like they said it was going to be. So the fact that people say I don't think MTL is coming is just it's just false. You know, it's already here. It may not be here for you, and that's where people, I think, get it confused. Practice time. Exactly. This is, Chasing Sundays. I'm so glad you just said this. Shout out to Chasing Sundays. Instead of complaining, I've seen so many people complain about this drop, right? It's like, do exactly what Chasing Sunday said. If you don't want to go for this drop, this is practice. We're talking about practice, It's like people want to get better at the drops, but they don't want to, they'd rather sit and complain about a drop instead. Like I'm practicing. As good or as lucky as I am, I'm using this drop to hone my skills even more. That's like seeing Tom Brady go putting in work in practice, or, shout out to LeBron, or shout out RIP Kobe. It's like Kobe's Kobe, he's hitting every bucket, but he's in there in practice 6 a.m. before everybody else putting in work still. Well, I'm still practicing my drop, Now, I'm not saying I'm Kobe because of these drops. That's going to get twisted all out of context. But again, I relate everything back to sports. So it goes back to that same principle, I think the haters would probably twist those words and say, oh, he thinks he's Kobe on the drops. And that's not at all what I said. It's the same principle, Whenever you think you're too good at something, you're probably not, So that's why I say, you see Tom Brady putting in work still. You see Kobe, you see LeBron. You guys say how great I am at the drops. I'm still using this drop as a way to practice my skills. So, I feel like it's always constantly about being a student of the game. Maybe something happens this drop that's a little bit different than before, and I learned that, I'm never going to be in a position where I think I know everything. Let's go. Noble Matt still hasn't won a single drop. Let's try to fix that today, Noble. And that's the way too, just waiting for the drops is kind of risky because a lot of people can't hit the drops, and there's so many opportunities in the market, but people don't want to put in money to make that happen. So absolutely, I agree. The market is where all the market's where all the magic happens, right? Markets where you're able to create those opportunities. Drops I look at as almost like bonuses. Like if you could land a drop, great, that's a bonus right there. But the real moves are to be made in the marketplace, I believe. When there's a lot of FUD about a collectible, it's low, nobody wants it, and it's under retail. Those should be the light bulbs, the flags going off like, oh, okay, how many of these can I get and hold on to it for a few months while still having some liquidity? That I feel like is the balancing act, not financial advice. These are just opinions, entertainment, everything I'm saying. It's something to where, like, if I see something under retail or really low, I don't want to maybe spend my, I don't want to dump the, back up the truck and, blow everything on it, because then I'd be out of gems for new drops, maybe new opportunities in the market. But if I'm able to, hold on to some really, really low collectibles I got for a low for a few months and still have some liquidity, I think that's when people make out big. Yeah, a lot of people skip it, and that's okay too. Shout out to everybody skipping the drop. I think a lot of people who skip, maybe just want to use their gems for, something a little bit more that they may be into, which is perfectly cool. I always say, for the people that have been complaining, I see a lot of negativity on the Twitter about he always gets the drops. It's funny because, you guys always tune in. Those people that complain about the drops, they don't tune in. So it's like, they'll join, we'll get probably 30 extra viewers as soon as the drop ends to see if I get a drop, but they won't tune in to try to learn, It's crazy. I'm going to go over my drop strategy. 5 minutes left. Again, if you guys have been spamming away, definitely something that you want to keep on doing if you've been having good luck with it. I'm going to try to time this one again. So I'm going to act like there's 0 minutes left and count down from 10. Again, it pops up 1 second after 0. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. A little early on that one. I was about to blink, try not to blink. The computer lagged a little bit. I'm going to go over it again. That wasn't really a good example. That would have been one I was probably too early on right there. But again, this is the time, 45 seconds left. If there were 0 minutes, I'll back out, come back in, make sure that's running down. That felt pretty good. Maybe I would do it again because it felt like it got stuck on 42. But it looks pretty good. It's going down in sync. So again, I'm going to act like there's 0 minutes left. The buy now pops up 1 second after 0. So you can predict that by staying in rhythm and just starting your click a millisecond before you see it pop up. So by the time you click, by the time your finger gets there, it'll be right on time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. By now. I probably would have got that one. Like, so instead of seeing buy now pop up and then click, you're probably gonna be too late. So I'm clicking right before I see buy now. And again, I think backing out and coming back in with 1 minute 45 seconds left, that probably helps, or not probably, I think that helps me or helps my timer stay in order. Sometimes I'll try to give an example here. Sometimes when I back out and I come back in, like that, to me, it stood on 28 seconds, a little bit too long right there. So I would back out, and now it's going down in order. So that was actually a perfect example right there. Now, do I know if it stayed on 28 too long or not? Maybe it was perfect. Maybe I read it wrong. Maybe it wasn't really delayed. It was just stuck on that. I don't know. But to me, it looked like it was stuck or delayed at 28 seconds. So I'll back out, come back in, and then since I saw it coming down in order, boom, that tells me, okay, it's probably in sync now. Not in sync the band. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left. Wow, what? 2001? That's Pirate's birthday? No way. He's got to be a 90s baby. I don't believe Pirates was born in 2001. He has to be a 90s baby. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. He reminds me of a 90s baby, though. Shout out to the Pirates. Oh, yeah, the scary stuff like Dracula, Frankenstein. I think we'll get that stuff too, J. Kill. I'm trying to get to some of these. Yeah, that definitely would be fire. JD Bryant. Now, shout out to Kobe, man. RIP, man. That's a legend right there. Happened beginning of 2020. I knew that year was not going to be right when that happened. That affected me. I never had that happen before where, someone I didn't know passing away actually affected me. Maybe just because I would literally watch Kobe Bryant mindset videos, mentality videos like every day for decades. Him, Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, like I watch those guys every day. Appreciate y'all. I was trying to do it, not blinking. Thought Pirates is 91. Yeah, okay, that seems about right. Yeah. I would say he's probably feels like a 90s baby. I'm 93. That would surprise me if he was born in 2021. I mean, 2001. Wait, did you say 2001 or 2021? Definitely wasn't born in 2021. I thought you said 2001. Oh, yeah. Okay, you did say 2001. Okay, there we go. Had me confused there. I was like, he wasn't born 10 years ago. 54 seconds to the drop. Shout out to all my coffee gators out there. Reslone, my guy, there is a drop. You got 45 seconds, Reslone. I don't think this one's going to have so much demand right away, so I'm not sure if you want to go for it, Reslone, but the artist is Gary Baseman. All right, perfect. 27 seconds. Shout out to everybody. 20 seconds. Oh, man, I'm nervous for this one, too. 15 seconds. Again, 1 second after 0. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I know. I was late, and I got it right away. That tells me. That tells me it's probably going to be like the Electro drop, maybe, because this is what it felt like. I've never, well, I have had it pop up this fast before, but I was a split second late, and it popped up right away. Mirestone Ranch got a dub. Got it. What should I do? I'm waiting right now. I maybe shouldn't have bought it. Yeah, Reslo. I think there's gonna not be as much demand for this one, so it could, the lower rarities may take some time to do well, but I think ultra rare, secret rare will do fine. 132 seconds. I'm just gonna wait to see how long I can go. I've never had this where the buy now, like I just wait. Should I buy it, guys? Dub, let's go. But let it go. Ivy got one. Let's go, Ivy. Miss Rose got a dub. What should I do, guys? Should I buy it? Should I not buy it? We got some extra viewers on here. Time's running out. I still got 100 seconds left. Gio, buy it. Shout out to Gio. Paul got a dub. I'm just worried because I don't have enough gems right now. Get it. No. I'm gonna wait for 1 second and then I'm gonna make a decision. I'll let you guys know. Don't buy, bro. Let's go. It's still available. W uncommon. Not sold out. Can you imagine the uproar if I wait till 1 second, I hit buy now, and I get the secret rare? 55 seconds. Ooh. Wow, Project with Coach. Yeah, this is a legendary artist, Myvi. I think long term it's going to be a good one. Hey, shout out to the vault. Got a secret rare. Yeah, people aren't buying this one. It's okay. I mean, everything's not supposed to sell out in a second, I only have 69 gems total right now. 15 seconds. Four, three, 3, 2, 1. Find out. No, it expired. What? What? How does that happen? I thought I just timed it. I guess timing's not great. What? Maybe it's still. It said I didn't get it. What? How's that happen? Yeah, and that is the craziest. Let's look at the replay here. Let me see if. All right. Do you guys think that? Oh, all right. 28 seconds is what I thought it kind of lagged on. Let me know if you guys think it lagged on 28 seconds. Maybe it was 30 seconds. No? I don't know. Maybe it didn't lag. I guess not. All right. We'll speed it up a little bit. Oh, I guess not. We'll just wait. I was a little bit late on this one, but I mean, I got it right away. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Computer lags. Still pretty quick, though. That's a late quick. That's a late click for me. All right, let me fast forward all the way down to the very final seconds of this. Tell me how I didn't time this, though. 1 click. See? I guess 1 second. This is good to know, though. I mean, you got to click before 1 second because I guess that processing is part of the countdown. So if you want to buy it, you better click like before 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, click. See, this is why I try stuff like that, because I didn't know you would have to press before 1 second. So if I ever get to the point where, you know, there's a collectible blind box, I get it. Maybe I'm trying to add in money real quick or something like that. I don't have the gems. This is good information to pick up when you're not sure, because you can actually learn stuff that way. Like now I know if I ever have to add in gems, I better click that buy now before 1 second, because it's probably like 5 seconds, because it takes that time to confirmation page or whatever it is. So, you know, that's, you know, I'll put that because I learned that. I'm gonna let you guys learn that too. You know, if you ever have to add in gems or anything like that, and you have to use like all of those seconds, make sure you hit buy now before 1 second left, because obviously with 1 second left it didn't work. So yeah, it was pretty funny. Solid. You can buy 5 of them. That's my luck. Shout out to you, Reslan, for coming in and joining though. W on the 4. And so a lot of people coming in right now are kind of like laughing that it didn't sell out, just because VeVe has blessed us all with showing us that how quick these drops sell out, right? There used to be a time where, I mean, go back on my live stream, watch the Marvel Comics #1. It didn't sell out for minutes, you know? And their whole goal is to eventually come up with stuff that's going to be left in store for new users to grab. And so not every single drop, their goal is to sell out. They talked about this on AMA so many times, but a lot of people don't want to do their research or don't want to look up old videos or learn. You know, their whole goal isn't to sell out every single drop in a second. So hey, Miss Rose got a poolside Toby. Let's go. This is crazy. Honestly, I think it's not letting you buy just proves how lucky you are. Isn't that crazy? Shout out to you, Austin. Good job getting the ultra rare. I don't think it's a shame at all. I mean, you know, this artist is already legendary. You know, I think this is going to be just an opportunity for a lot of people, a lot of fans of his work. You know, Gary Baseman, someone that now I've been looking at a lot of his collection, a lot of his different artwork, just because, you know, VeVe introduced me to a new artist that I never knew about. So check, you can still buy. I mean, also, Catwoman didn't sell out for weeks. Batwoman or Batgirl. People want to talk about losing money. You only lose money when you sell. Imagine all the people who scooped up, or imagine, obviously, Nomad with NFTs wasn't here when Marvel Comics #1 came out, when Batgirl came out, when Catwoman came out, when the DeLorean Comet came out. You know how many people said that you would lose money by grabbing those? DeLorean Comet went to $13, $30 retail. Imagine, you know, having the foresight, not believing the FUD, you know, not believing the negativity. You scooped up all those DeLoreans at $13. Now it's sitting close to $100. MC1 common. Most people weren't here for the Marvel who've been complaining. Most people who were complaining weren't here for the Marvel Comics #1. That got released. The common $7 retail price got resold for $1, $2 in the market. You know, people believe the FUD, believe the negativity. Some people probably sold, took a loss. If you don't sell, you don't take a loss. That same common is now got up to $600, $700. It's probably at like 300 now. So imagine, you know, there's gonna be people who said, "Oh, good job getting that comic book, a digital comic book. You just all lost money." Yeah, the short-sighted people believe that. The drops are addicting, absolutely. 'Cause, 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 'cause I agree with this, Rich Buddy. I mean, all it takes is for them to say, "Yep, all the artist collectibles are now interoperable, and you can send them to your IMX wallet." What do you think that's going to do for all the prices that are under retail of these artist collectibles right now, right? I mean, my luck, crypto, I probably would have got a secret rare. Yeah, Batgirl, Catwoman, these are all collectibles. Like, I'm so glad, Rich Buddy, you're saying this because, you know, it takes OGs, it takes us veterans, people with experience to show these new users who may be fudding, who say, oh, yeah, good job, guys. You got that collectible. You lost money. Little do they know, those are the same type of people who fudded the MC1 common that got dropped under retail, $2, right? So many people said it was done, sinking. The smart money was buying them up. Now it's a few $100 for one of those. Just do the math, right? Say you took $5,000, right? And you bought all the MC1 commons at $2. How many would you have? That same comic book is now $400, $500. How much would you have? In the short term, yeah. A lot of haters, a lot of negativity, a lot of negative vibes are saying, oh, great job. You know, you lost money. The people with the long-term vision, they just held. I think those people need some FA tissues. So all the haters out there, if you need some FA tissues, let me know. I love when I hear this because, again, web dev, it's people like you that just make me more bullish. It makes people like you realize that, you know, it alerts the whole community, you know, that, like, you know, people still don't realize how early this is. Yep, Batgirl, the others were at the store for weeks. You know, a lot of the fudders don't realize that. They just see what's in the store right now. You know, a lot of the people joining right now, they see Todd McFarlane Batman at whatever it's priced at right now, $6,000. They don't realize they're uneducated to know that Todd McFarlane Batman didn't sell out from October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months. So for anyone laughing at this drop, just know that your Todd McFarlane Batman didn't sell out for 6 months. So it's like the people who will come on and say, you know, VeVe is done are just uneducated. You know, that's why it's our job to educate these people, educate the fudders to say, no, you're wrong. You know, you would see me in the top OMI wallet holders if I had 10,000 OMI every time I heard this. But again, I'm here to let people know I've heard this before, you know, in April 2021, June 2021. I've heard this from so many people who jump back in on VeVe. So, you know, it just goes to show we'll probably see web dev back in here under a new username in a little bit. Let's go, Shooter. Shooter racking up the rebounds. Glad you got one secret rare, man. You deserve it. Secret rare low mint. Yeah, absolutely. I just want to know that I pressed the buy button and I got one. That's what I'm addicted to. Dub 602 rare. Danny, why not sell out? Just because, you know, his fan base really isn't here just yet. The same reason why the Marvel Comics #1 didn't sell out. The same reason why Todd McFarlane Batman didn't sell out. The same way Batgirl didn't sell out. Catwoman. Like, not, we're just so used to the people just joining are just so used to the way things have been. That's why I always say we don't realize we're in history until it's written in a book. We've all been part of history. This is groundbreaking. This is never like nothing like this has ever been done before. But people just join and act like it's the norm, not realizing just a little bit ago times were completely different. So just want to say this is still early. Every time I hear comments like this, it makes me, you know, reminds me of, wow, we are really still early, because you hear that all the time. People question, we have 1 million users. Are we still early? Well, we have comments like this. It kind of answers that question. You know, we are still early. Definitely could be a bot cleanup too. And the other thing I want to say, Kent W, is, you know, I've talked about this before, but I want to talk about it again because there's a lot more people in the live. You know, when you're the best platform in the world, you can't please everybody. You know, when you have millions of fans, you can't please everybody. You know, when people are going to be miserable in their own life and try to take it out on VeVe team, people in the community, Comey team, when things aren't perfect. And that's okay. You know, you don't know what someone's going on in their own personal situation. So I would just say it's important just to observe the behavior from a lot of people, because Again, they could drop Star Wars, they could drop Darth Vader tomorrow, right? And half the community be like, yes. The other half would be like, what are you doing? Fix the drop system, fix the bot system, blah, 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 you know? Would still piss off people. Then they could drop something that people probably never even heard of, you know, probably to work on the drop system, the bot system, things that people have been complaining about, or the bot problem, not system, whatever the case is. So they drop something that maybe nobody's really heard about, probably work on these things, and then you still have half the people complaining, this is garbage, not selling out, drop something good. It's like, you know, I just sit back and watch all of it because I'm like, wow. You know, I always talked about to other OGs, like, you know, we would come at a point in time with VeVe to where once we start seeing a lot of negativity in the community, that's when you know that things have blown up. And I think we're getting to that point because there used to never be, you know, negative energy. I would say once things were early, but you know, March, end of March, April 2021, May, once the prices started to come down from that euphoria high, that's when you start to get people on edge, you know, their true characters start to show. And I think that's what's happening again, you know. It's easy to be, you know, bullish, happy, you know, content all over when your account's booming, you know, $500,000 or $1 million, right? Everybody's account's booming, market prices are booming, economy's booming, you know. It's easy to be happy and, you know, all about it then. But what's your true character like when things aren't going your way? You know, you might get punched in the face one time. You know, how do you act then? You know, when things are down in the market, you know, OMI may be down a little bit, maybe some more delays, things aren't going perfect. How do you act then? That's when the true character of a lot of people come out. We saw it happen in May, June, July. We're seeing it happen in March, April, May. Like we're just seeing it again, just different cycles. So I would always say, you know, it's important to really just be yourself in all this because it's easy to be booming, you know, positive when things are booming, but I think it matters too when things aren't going your way. You know, how do you react and act? I agree, Jackal. You know, that's what I think the interoperability will be huge. I know the artist collectibles are kind of not as popular right now. I think the majority of people in the community like the bigger brands, but again, there's plenty of people who would rather have the artist collectibles, which is perfectly great too because you know, collectors collect whatever they're into. People are going to be into the big brands. People are going to be into the artist stuff because of the art. Like, so I feel like it's definitely going to be huge once the collectibles, the artist collectibles can be interoperable. I think prices won't be under retail for anything anymore. You're sniffling a lot, you under influence. I'm not sure what that means. You're sniffing a lot, you under influence. What? Can't even read out his comment. Something about my sniffling. I'm under the influence, I think you mean. I guess I've just been under the influence for months now. I think we're going to have Nomad with NFTs change his username once VeVe Market starts to boom, too. He'll be one of them. Shout out to you, Reslone. Smart move. I mean, again, under retail, Marvel 1, people were like, VeVe's done. Let's go. Crazy. Ooh. I like that one. Someone just sent me a DM of another like NFT tracker type thing. Shout out to, oh, this is DG Vet. What up, DG Vet? tracker.com shows you your collectibles, sets, comics, your daily MCP points. Definitely something I have to look into. I'm just so weary on like downloading anything. So as long as I make sure that it's legit, I'll definitely go check that out. Because that is something I want to look at. I want to definitely look at how many MCP points I'm getting daily. Wow, shooter. A 50 mint. That's the one that you want right there. You know, the one reason why I love these low mint collectibles is because I do believe that once these are interoperable and you have them all listed on OpenSea or Immutable X, I should say, the IMX marketplace. I mean, people are going to list them by what? Rarity, and then what? When they're all in order, probably the mint number. So that's why I'm huge on that, to where, especially the artist collectibles, you know, if you have a low mint, I think it'll probably be one of the more expensive ones, more valuable ones, or not even just low mint, but like a special mint number to where if it's the year of the artist type thing, that's huge too. Before the members boost though. Someone's just mad and wants to clip something. You know, I've talked about how the MC1 went under retail. I've talked about how the DeLorean Common went under retail. Talked about how Batgirl went under retail, Catwoman. I can go on and on with examples here. It wasn't just the MC1. I think a negative minded person would probably just take everything I just said and literally just talk about the MC1. So, again, it's just another example of, you know, collectibles going under retail, people fudding it, and then coming back. And what do you know? Months later, it's above retail. Not a bad idea. It's one of those things where I think the whole market will dip if that was to happen. I don't know, Jabe. I think it's probably an ongoing thing that they're probably looking at. It might have gone better that way, Gino. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's probably up there. A million in art. I don't know. I didn't do the numbers to see how much they made, but it's probably up there. A lot of editions. Yeah, definitely. And I'm not too sure on that the about issue. It's one of those things where I think the team's probably working on it behind the scenes. I mean, Florida Estate Makeover. I don't think anyone in here is talking about serious history NFTs with this one. Again, this is art. He has a fan base, and his fans will probably be into his art. So again, if you're not into his art, no one's forcing you to grab this. There's going to be plenty of things on VeVe that drop that you're not into. Guess what? Don't go for it. Or you can practice your drop technique. Go for it. Maybe not confirm the buy. If you're out of gems or don't like it, it's one of those things where and I said Todd, you know, Todd's one of those too. You know, Todd, Batgirl, Batwoman, or I should say Catwoman, Batgirl, DeLorean Common, Todd. You know, again, it's one of those things where Florida seems a little upset right now, so he's going to try to take one or two things I say and say, how can you compare that? You know, but I think the OGs they know by now. You know, I'm just trying to help out people. You can sit there and complain. You're probably one that complained about the MC1 Common. It's under retail. VeVe sinking, or the Common DeLorean. Too many mints, you know, VeVe sinking, and probably didn't buy them when they're $13, you know. So we're always going to see fudders like that, and it's just part of the cycle, you know. If you don't like something, you don't have to go for it. I know VeVe's addicting, and you probably want to go for it. Try your drop strategy, you know. Doesn't mean you have to buy it. Can't wait for VeVe in 5 years. Facts. Let's go. Let's go, Punch. Absolutely play through games. I mean, his fans are, once this drop is above retail, I'm gonna make sure I come back on the live and say, where's all the fudders at? You can bet that these people that FUD won't be in those lives. Exactly, Mark D. You get it. And that's the thing. Some people are just mad, miserable about their personal life, whatever's going on in their own situation. And so when they see things they don't agree with, they take it out on others. And that's one thing why I don't like to lash out on people, because you don't know what they're going through in their own situation. But I think the real ones understand. He said, exactly, dude. We're saying those huge character FAs didn't even sell out. The world is not ending. Thank you. Exactly. Can you imagine, like, FA Batgirl, FA Catwoman, FA Batman. FA Batman didn't sell out for 6 months. So, like, and then an artist collectible doesn't sell it instantly and people want to FUD. It's like, it sounds to me like a lot of people are upset still. Like I said before, it's that built up frustration. And so when you have that built up frustration, you're ready to lash out, on anything. So I think it's one of those things where I think all of us in the community can kind of be a little bit more aware of this, to where, we're just watching behavior right now. We're observing people's behavior. How do they deal with tough times? How do they deal with things not going perfectly? Like I said, I agree. 99% of all NFTs on all platforms probably won't, do too well, because when you have the first ever Batman, Superman, Spider-Man combined with the clean app, the amazing team, a lot of people invest in this project because of the team that's involved. So that's one thing that I like to laugh at when people say the team doesn't know how to run this company. But the teams of why I invested in this company. David, Dan Crothers, Alfred Kahn. A lot of times people just don't understand what's in front of them right now. I always say, yeah, David's definitely connected, but it's one of those things where this is an opportunity. This is a blessing. We're here early. You don't have to capitalize on this moment. You don't have to, be negative. You don't have to try to pull people down just to try to make yourself feel better if you've been miserable. Life doesn't usually work that way. So this is just an opportunity for people to collect their favorite brands in the world from artists that they may have heard about, maybe they didn't hear about yet. This is just an opportunity for people. If you don't want to capitalize on the opportunity, if you don't want to collect, no one's forcing you to collect, So absolutely. Yeah, Audible's been here for a while. Yeah, VeVe's going to be part of the 1% that thrives. See, people like this show me that, I really wish you the best with everything that's going on in your life. Florida State Makeover. It sounds like you're pretty frustrated right now. I mean, you've tuned into a 3-hour live stream all about VeVe, just trying to FUD it and spill negativity in everybody. So I'm wishing you the best, my man. I hope you're doing well. I hope everything, goes well your way in the future. Good luck on all the drops if you decide to keep going for them. And if not, that's totally fine too. I'm not forcing you to be here on this live stream for 3 hours. I'm not forcing you to go for the drops on VeVe. It's one of those things where you want to spend your time around VeVe. I feel like you really love it. So that tells me you're probably just have some built up frustration because you love VeVe so much. So maybe it's time, maybe take a little break, maybe not go for every drop, go for the things that you enjoy. When you start collecting the things that you love and you're not worried about if someone else loves another collectible, I think you'll be a lot happier, brother. It's definitely good to give some indie artists some love. Absolutely. And Audible, exactly. Like me personally, I'm more of a fan of the mainstream, the big branded IP stuff, but that's just my personal opinion. Seems like you like a little bit of both too. I like a little bit of both too. I've know so many people that don't like the big brands. They don't like the Disney collectibles, the Batman, the Superman stuff. They're more into the artist collectibles. They love enjoying the art. They like collecting the art. So it's like, how am I to tell someone else what they do or don't like? You know? Let's go. Shout out to Soft Roading New Zealand. Oh yeah, now we got a footer. Ronnie 87 changed his name. Now we got a footer. How rich are you that you feel bad for some dude just made $1 million of art? I mean, I'm rooting for Gary. You know, like I want Gary to do well. Mark D, I think some people are just, they have that built up frustration, so they're ready just to tag it all. They're just ready to lash out on everybody. Yeah, we got some futters in here. I guess I've been on them for months now. I missed on this one. Well, I did hit, but I didn't get one. I probably would have just got one and just kept it at that drop. I wouldn't have gone in the market for this one. But I only have 69 gems right now, so trying to make some moves, stack my gems. I think this guy needs a FA box of tissue. Some people really need some tissues. It's one of those things, it's like if you don't love a drop, don't go for it. If you do, go for it. And if you don't like it, why would you talk bad about someone else who does like it? Johnny, you can still buy to your heart is content. Oh, your heart is content. How much will the secret rare be worth? I'm not sure. I'm interested to see how it goes. The secret rare, I'm guessing at least a few $100 right away. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I thought the secret rare would be at least a few hundred for Electra, and that's only at 200, so maybe it's even lower. Market's still closed. Relax, bro. I love poolside Toby. Let's go. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one over time. I think people will be surprised in a few months from now. She stacked them. Smart move. Oh, that's good, DG Vet. No download required. That's awesome. So I can just plug in the NFTs I have. I'll definitely check that out. And if I like it, I'll definitely give you a good shout out too. Because DG Vet, you've been a big, subscriber. The support's been amazing from you, so I appreciate you big time. Let's go, poolside Toby. Once we get those AR glasses. This guy's still on here. He loves VeVe and me so much, and all you guys to where he wants the fun, but he's staying on 3-hour live streams. Florida State makeover. Let's go. Noble Matt got a dub. Yeah, everything's just off, Florida. I appreciate your support staying on the live stream this whole time, man. I really appreciate all of your support. Watching live golf. Let's go. Punch. Golf can actually be fun. Depends who plays. I think when you have the big time players, I mean, whoever you're into. I mean, I could be into Bryson DeChambeau. You could hate Bryson DeChambeau. So I feel like golf's one of those things where I think it's just, relaxing to watch. They make it look easy as anything. So it'll probably be motivating to go out there and play a little bit. I love when Tiger, any time Tiger's on TV playing, I'm watching. Yeah, that's a fact, Mark D. I agree with this. People will never stop complaining. And a lot of that has to do with, that built up frustration in a lot of people. A lot of people love VeVe. But they're mad, delays, things aren't perfect, Omi's down, VeVe market's down, etc. And so they're ready to lash out at anybody or anything just to make themselves try to feel better. A lot of the times people are so miserable to where they feel like if they try to bring someone else down that they see happy or whatever the case is, they think that that's going to make them feel better, but it doesn't work like that. So it's really unfortunate people think that. It's really not that crazy, just because, you know, we've seen so many collectibles not sell out right away. So I think that just shows the power of VeVe. Everybody was used to 1 second sellouts. Wow, he's even got the stitching. Yeah, absolutely. And see, Punch, I think, or not Punch, I'm sorry, Audible. I think Audible, that everybody, you know, is kind of, even me, you know, we kind of get accustomed to just being able to take everything, like we're walking down the Walmart aisle, just grabbing everything off the shelves, putting in our basket. We want this drop, we want this drop. Probably going to come a time, VeVe said it before, where you're not going to be able to get every drop. You know, you're going to have to pick and choose your fandom. You tell him, Miss Rose. Let's go. No fun, gang. And, you know, anytime I see, you know, there's a difference too between, you know, a lot of times I say FUD all the time. Then the other side will say, oh, I'm not FUDing, I have concerns. There's a difference between having concerns and, you know, maybe asking some questions in a respectful manner, as opposed to creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt in a disrespectful way too. You know, there's definitely a line. And I feel like a lot of times people cross that line and then try to double back and say, I just had concerns. If you just had concerns, you know, there's a respectful way to handle it and ask those questions, as opposed to seeing some disrespectful things I've seen, like David and Dan, they don't know how to handle the company. Like, that's the most ludicrous thing I've ever even heard. It's like, I've invested in this company, you know, a lot of people have, because of David and Dan and Alcon and these people that run the team. Because, you know, anyone who's been on these live streams understand what my kind of thought process is, that digital collecting from big brands will kind of just be the norm. It'll be the standard. There's going to be tons of platforms that have collectibles from licensed brands. Right now, that seems new because there's not many, but that's going to be the transition. That's just going to be the standard. That's just going to be the norm. And so I think what's going to separate that is the team behind a lot of these platforms. Let's go. Capture kill the bots. Crypto King. I don't think they're all gone. I mean, I'm sure there's still going to be some. I didn't get any today. I went for the buy now at the last second. I could have got one. I waited for the countdown to come. I was a little too late with that 1 second. I could have bought them in the market, but just held off on this one. I only have 69 gems right now. So I've been trying to make some moves, let go of my third Nightwing. Maybe let go of that Amelia. I know we're gonna get a rewind collective drop soon. So I thought, do I wait, sell that into the hype of when that gets dropped, or just sell it now? I'm gonna keep that Cleo because I love the gold, but he sent me a DM of it. Let me see here. My NFT tracker com is the Twitter. Let me give it a follow. My NFT tracker com. Shout out to DG Vet. I'm gonna definitely take a look at it all and everything after the stream. Sign JDFA tissue box. I gotta send it out to a few people. That's hilarious. No, I didn't get anything today, Shamo. I did get a rare, a 2021 mint when that first dropped. I went for this drop. It was a little late. Still got it. Popped up right away. I wasn't feeling my luck on a secret rare or anything like that. I only have 69 gems, so it would have left me with less than 20 gems. So I just decided to pass on it. But if I get some more gems, I'll probably pick this up in the market if it comes out cheap. Got two uncommon for Jake Kill. Crazy audible, right? Feels like it wasn't too long ago. Feels like just a couple months ago. It was probably about a handful of months ago now, almost half a year ago, which is crazy. Actually, almost, it's in a few more months, it's probably going to come up on a year since the first comic. Oh, yeah, and Superstar Money. Yeah, shout out to those guys. I definitely did check out their YouTube channel. I was already subscribed to them. I just couldn't put that name with the people. But yeah, shout out to Superstar Money. They definitely make some solid VeVe content over there. I think this is an oxymoron. I don't think you can have Johnny and Fudding in the same sentence. JD, facts are facts. We can't change those. That's a fact right there. Facts. Market open. Hey. Let's take a look at the breakdown. It's been a while since we had some fudders for the whole live stream. Isn't that funny how like sometimes people will constantly complain, constantly cause all this fear, constantly cause all this uncertainty, doubt in people, you know, complain about this, complain about that, but yet they'll stay on the live stream for hours and hours. It's crazy. All right, let's see here. Secret Rare going for $85. All right, 130. I was gonna say less than 100. I was gonna go in there and just add money and buy it. Secret Rare looks like 87. People want to put it 87, but it's really 120. That looks like a fake floor. It's more like 120, 130 is the floor. Let's see. Ultra Rare going for 45. Smells like opportunities. We got the rare going for 20. We got the uncommon going for 15. We got the common going for 13. Let's see. Let's check out how many have been delivered. Looks like there's still a lot to be sold out. Just trying to find out the exact number here. Secret Rare, there's 1,150 remaining. Ultra Rare, there's 2,020 remaining. Gotta go. See you, Johnny. Hey, Noble Matt, appreciate you big time for coming in today. You know, all the support's been amazing. Appreciate you. Not sure if you landed one today or not, but if you did, you know, congrats. Congrats on the stamp one. If you picked up any of those, I think the stamps could definitely, you know, it's an iconic piece of history right there. The stamps for International Women's Month. So I think the stamps over time, long term, could do well. Short term, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but appreciate you big time, Noble Matt, for tuning in today. I should have been wise and not gone for this drop. Yeah, Simone, I think it's one of those things where it's important to go after the things that you love. You know, if you're not into this drop or anything like that, you know, I don't think you should continue to go for drops, maybe if you're not into them, just because I think in the future we will get so many drops to where it's going to be impossible to pick your fandom. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You didn't have anything you want to get rid of. And see, what you're saying here, Florida, is completely opposite of what I'm saying. I will address your one comment here. Because again, I appreciate your support. Tuning in for hours on the live stream. You know, I appreciate that big time. You know, coming in here, talking VeVe with me for hours on end. You know, I appreciate that. And so what I'll say, what I said before, and I'll say it again, you know, not every drop is meant to just skyrocket in value overnight. You know, David Hughes talked about this over and over again. You know, so many things in the future or in the past have sat in store and they've gone under retail. You know, a lot of people, once things have gone under retail, that's when a lot of people will say, oh, you lost money. Oh, what are you doing? VeVe's done. VeVe's finished. And then months will go by. And then that same thing under retail will not remain under retail. You know, I've talked about the Batgirl. That was under retail. That didn't get sold out. That stayed in store in stock. Catwoman, same thing. That didn't sell out right away. That was in store in stock, you know? And so, same with the DeLorean Common, the Marvel Comics #1, the Todd Batman. So many collectibles didn't sell out right away. And so, for these artist drops, not everybody's going to be into the artists. You know, some people are going to be just into the big brands like Superman, Disney, Batman, and that's perfectly fine too. I'm more personally a fan of those big IPs, but some people like to collect just the artists, you know, just the artwork of some of these artists, and that's perfectly okay too. I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, you're not supposed to like this artist or something like that. He's got 200,000 fans, you know, 200,000 followers on Instagram. He's already a legendary artist. You may not know about him. I may not know about him, but he's already got a fan base. So I'm not going to sit here and say you shouldn't go for the drop or you should. I think it all depends, you know, if you're into the artist or not. And so my decision, I told you guys that I would try to go for the drop, you know, try to at least grab one if I was able to get it. I may or may not confirm that purchase just because I only have 69 gems right now. So I end up not getting it. But again, for anyone who wants to collect, you know, this is going to be a drop that people aren't going to try to invest into. You know, if you're an investor coming to this app, you may not look at some of these artist collectibles until maybe interoperability or anything like that. Some people are just into the art. You know, so I think it was Crypto Khaki. Shout out to the Todd father because he told me this, you know, a little bit ago. Not everybody VeVe's the same, meaning people are going to come to this app and they're a collector. Maybe they like to collect artwork from certain artists. So they may not even touch Disney, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. They may not like that stuff. They may just only collect these artist collectibles. And so who am I to tell someone that they shouldn't go for that drop if they like this artist or anything like that? Me personally, you guys know by now, I'm a fan of the Batman, the Superman, the Disney, those big IP brands. But that's just my personal opinion, you know? Absolutely. Can you imagine if there's an airdrop for this one too? I think people will flock to this and prices will skyrocket. People sleep on everything until there's another catalyst or until, you know, until the price starts to go up. It's a doubling good effect. I talk about the Todd because Todd McFarlane Batman wasn't something that people wanted. People laughed at me for buying it. People said I'm an idiot for buying it. There's too many editions, right? 6 months didn't sell out. October, November, December, January, February, March didn't sell out. Then as soon as it sold out, as soon as it started to sell out, that's when the FOMO hit. That's when everybody started to rush into it. It's just a doubling good effect. Things don't look appealing to buy when they're low, when they're not selling out, when they're under retail. When that same collectible, the supply starts to dwindle down, it starts selling, it starts going up in value, then it's appealing to buy. People will pay 5x for that. You know how many people passed on Todd McFarlane Batman at $80, but then months later went back and bought it for $5,000? You see what I'm saying? And again, I'm not trying to compare that, you know, this is the same as a, you know, a big brand IP, but it's different. You know, there's going to be collectors, there are collectors right now on the app who don't buy the Disney, who don't buy the Superman, the Batman, Superman. They're not into the big IP brands. They only want to collect art. They only like the artwork from these artists, And so, I mean, that's perfectly okay. There's no right or wrong way to collect. So I just want to put that out there because, hey, let's go. We agree. Hey, let's go. I'm not sure how we finally came to an agreement there because I feel like I've been saying the same thing over and over, but I'm glad we can come to an agreement with something there, Florida. Appreciate all the support, you tuning in the whole time. Exactly, yeah. I mean, let's go. I hope he does, or if he did win before, you know, that's amazing. I think he is a legendary artist. People are just sleeping, you know. Watch the prices on, you know, if you guys want to have an experiment, write down right now on a piece of paper, take screenshots, whatever you want to do. You know, write down the prices of all these collectibles that are under retail. Put the date. What's today's date? March 26, 2022, write them down, put down the price under retail, whatever that is. And 6 months from now, just see what the prices are. Go back to that screenshot, go back to that piece of paper. And if things are still below retail as it is, then maybe, you know what, maybe I was wrong. But I have a feeling that they probably won't still be at retail. So, but again, I'm not saying for everybody to hold on for 6 months, because that's not something that everybody can do, Not financial advice, Reslo. Opinions only. Let's go. And my goal wasn't to win you over, my man, Florida Estate Makeover. It's just, I feel like there can be conflicting opinions sometimes. And I mean, you guys know me personally. My whole collection's filled with Disney, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man. Like, that's something I grew up on. So I love those big brands. And I was never, I didn't know about a lot of these artists that came to VeVe. So I became fans of the Ron English from New Jersey. Once I found out he was from New Jersey, I blew my mind. I was like, let's go. I had all of his sets, but it came to a point in time where I don't have unlimited money. So I had to come to a big decision saying, wow, I really want this Walt Disney collectible. Don't have enough to keep putting money in. I'm tapped out. I had the Ron English sets. I want to keep these, but I want the Walt more. So it came a point in time where I let go of some of my Ron English and some of my other artist collectibles for the big brands that I really wanted. But that's just a personal decision. I've seen people sell those big brands for more artist collectibles. And I'm not saying that's wrong. That's what they want to do. That's what they enjoy collecting. So it's always kind of a different perspective, because everyone has their own perspective. So, I just want to say that. What? Probably help my congestion. Let's go. Punch wants to see more from Gary Baseman. Did you mean Gary Baseman's won 3 Emmy Awards? That's amazing if he has. Hey, I think this is the Miss Rose and not me. Producer from Disney. Producer for Disney. Producer for Disney. So yeah, I think Gary Baseman's a legend. I would do research on him, and then if you become a fan of Gary Baseman, maybe you collect a couple of his artwork type thing. It's one of those things where, yeah, VeVe will have pretty much, something from every fandom. So I feel like unless you have unlimited money, you can't just be putting in, get everything like we all want. Probably going to have to be selective and pick and choose which one do you really, really love. Alex Cole said, what is this drop? I got like 16 of them. They took my money off and delivered just one. So it looks like maybe deliveries are slow, Alex Cole. If you have 16 pending deliveries, that means that you should get 16 orders. It's just that it may not all come right away. You have a red bar that says 16 orders pending. If you did, that means that you definitely locked them in. It's just going to take a little bit of time for you to get that collectible delivered to your actual account. Let's go. Yeah, and so it's probably going to be one of those things, Rich Buddy, where we're probably going to come back to this stream and just laugh. I'm probably going to be taking screen clippets and snippets of stuff, and saying, wow, look at that. Prices aren't under retail anymore. Yeah, it takes time to deliver. So I just talked about this, but again, you probably just joined, Alex Cole, so appreciate you for just tuning in. I'll talk about it again. They're going to have drops where they're intended not to sell out instantly. We've been blessed. I say blessed because you probably just joined in the last few months, Alex Cole. So you've been accustomed, you've been used to seeing everything selling out every second. Todd McFarlane Batman didn't sell out. It got delivered or it got released October, November, December, January, February, March. 6,000 Todds didn't sell out. And so Catwoman, same thing. That didn't sell out right away. Batgirl, that didn't sell out. The DeLorean Common, that didn't sell out. So we've had this before. We've had plenty of drops where they didn't sell out. But that's VeVe's goal. You know, VeVe has a problem, not problem, but they want to kind of solve the issue of everything selling out instantly for new users. So they want to get to the point where they have some drops that are still in store for new users to come and buy, you know. But we've been so accustomed to everything selling out in a second to where when it doesn't, it's like people really think like, oh, what's going on? It's like they just dropped something that didn't sell out right away. It probably wasn't their intention, you know. They want to have some stuff in the store for some new users to grab. So I feel like, especially if you just joined, you know, if you just joined last few months, there's nothing you can do. I mean, you weren't here when things didn't sell out right away. You probably just came in when everything's selling out instantly, and that's okay because you didn't know, right? But yeah, absolutely. So it looks like it's not sold out yet, but I haven't got mine yet either. Most of the community is not high end enough to know who this guy is, me included. I would say, yeah, me too, Ivy. You know, that's probably why I was unaware of who this guy is. And I think once people start to get more familiar, when his fans start to really find out, I don't think prices are going to be this low. And so, Simone, you know, what your question, it says, why would a new user want to buy something that goes under retail? That would just leave a salty taste in my mouth if I just joined. Not if you joined when the Marvel Comics #1 was under retail, or when the DeLorean Common was under retail, or when Batgirl was under retail, or Catwoman. Like a lot of these collectibles didn't sell out, and when they did, they were under retail. That just gives an opportunity. A new user may come to the, you know, okay, maybe I'm a new user. I have zero collectibles. I'm a Gary Baseman fan. I come to the VeVe app. I see he just released his first ever release. I'm not looking in the market and saying, wow, this is only 50 or below retail. I'm not buying it anymore. If I'm a fan of it, I'm going to buy the artwork in store or below retail. I feel like I just got a good deal. You know, Simone, whatever your favorite clothing brand is, what's your favorite clothing brand or shoe brand? Say it's Nike, right? Say you're a big fan of Nike shoes. Nike shoes, they have a 50% off sale at the store. You're rushing there because there's a sale on your favorite shoes. You're not staying away and saying, what's happening with Nike? They're half off. That's an opportunity, you know. So let's go. Wow. See, Ivy, I'm glad you said this because I thought I only got to $13. I didn't realize it was $3. So the DeLorean Common was $50 and it dropped all the way down to $3. $30 to $3. People complained. People said, "What's happening? VeVe's done. VeVe's finished." You know, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's $80, $160 it got to. Imagine, you know, Ivy's making out big right now. Got a couple, maybe got one at $3. Now it's $80. That's a huge profit right there. Even if it just got back to retail, you know, if that $3 Common got back to $30 retail, that's still a huge profit. He is well known, yeah. Alex Cole, thanks a million. I thought it's a scam, but thanks you called me. I am on VeVe since November or so thanks again. Absolutely. So Alex Cole, appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate the comments. And yeah, I'm glad it can calm me down because, you know, there is a lot of distractions, you know, a lot of things going on in the community. People are upset, frustrated. What the feeling I get in the community right now, there's probably just a little bit of a built up frustration in some people, whether that's, you know, obviously everybody knows what's going on around the world right now. It's not perfect conditions out there. You know, it's turmoil around the world right now in some countries. So people are going through a lot. The markets are down. OMI's down a little bit. And so anytime people see anything that throws them off a little bit, maybe a drop didn't sell out instantly, it just means there wasn't that demand, much demand right now for that one. Again, I think it's a lot to do with people are unaware of who this artist is, me included. You know, I wasn't really familiar who this artist is, but anything this far under retail, or because we do see some things under retail, I think that just creates an opportunity. And a lot of times, like I said before, I named collectibles that didn't sell out right away. I mean, a person kind of got frustrated that I'm comparing it to these collectibles, but I'm doing so because I'm letting you know that even these giant FA big IP characters didn't sell out right away. It's going to be okay if an artist drop doesn't sell out right away, especially if people aren't familiar with them. Mark D, absolutely. Solid move, punch. And I do believe VeVe is going to be that platform. That's that mainstream mecha platform. There's going to probably be other platforms out there. Same way there's Nike, there's Adidas, there's, I always talk about K-Swiss, there's Reebok, right? There's a whole bunch of different brands that still do well, but there's always going to be that one main thing that people look at, whether that's Apple Music, Spotify, right? Then you got Pandora, you got Tidal, you got this, you got that, you got a lot of platforms that didn't make it. I equate this as almost the same thing that's going to happen. I believe VeVe is going to be that Amazon. VeVe is going to be that Nike, the Apple Music. And I'm sure there's going to be some other platforms here and there to come up, do well. But I do believe that VeVe is going to be the Amazon of the whole digital collecting space. Exactly. It's just that 99% of the world has been propagandized. I can't even say that word. There's a lot of propaganda out there, basically convincing the world that NFTs are useless. And I completely agree. Because anytime people think of an NFT now, they think of, an expensive random profile picture, right? It's like, why would I want that? But that's just because of what they think of. That's that propaganda, right? But once people get accustomed with the space and they realize that digital collecting is just going to be the norm, and it's probably going to transition into digital collecting your favorite brands of all time, your favorite brands and artists. And so once that shift happens, and it's not like, oh, did you buy this NFT? It's like, did you buy that digital collectible? That digital collectible, that word I think is going to be more used. It's going to become the standard, I think. Almost like we use the internet today. When that first came out, people called it the information highway, the super information highway. Did you go on the super information highway today? Like that was the word. But then as it became the norm, the standard, you just use the internet. It just encompasses it all. And so that's kind of how I feel like it's going to be. It's going to transition into digital collecting, premium licensed digital collections. Wow, a 42 secret rare for 130. Unfortunate. I'm going to look at these prices again. If you're new, the mint number will determine a lot. Now, some people aren't into collecting low mint numbers, and that's okay too if you're not into it, but they will sell for a premium. So if you're new and you do get a very, very low mint number, 41 is usually the first one that's public because the Komi team will keep the first 40 for licensors, giveaways, etc. So a low mint like 40, 42, 41 will sell for a premium. So always look at the mint number if you're new and you get a collectible. The secret rare going for 129. Let's go. Shout out to Reese. Jeremy tweeted, let's see the last photo on your camera. Let's go. Reese tweeted the official Moon Man landing. Shout out to Drea too. If you guys want one of these, they look amazing. You guys see my gold one up here? All of them look amazing. The gold, the silver, even the white in the original colorway. If you guys want one, make sure you guys follow Paracosm Design S. Send them a DM. Say, hey, Drea, I really, really would like I really love the official VeVe Moon Man landing. Saw Johnny's really liked his. I need one. Shout out to Drea. And you can follow her personal Twitter account at Drea_Valeria. Definitely go show her some love. What she makes is incredible. That's what I just showed that Reese has one too. Let's go. All different colors. I love this colorway. This one looks clean. I guess this would be like the original colorway, the white. Looks amazing. I need a white and silver one now. Mine's the gold one though. Let's see if I can bring it down. I don't want to drop it. If I drop it, I'll be really upset. I'll break it. I don't want to bring it. But there it is. Definitely go grab one if you want one. Yeah, and that's the case, Simone. Someone's bound to just sweep the floors on it because it's so low. Has the best ones, premium. And that's the other thing too. I think there's going to be probably in the future, a lot of different platforms with licensed collectibles. And I think the difference too is going to be the team that's involved, but also VeVe has premium licensed digital collectibles in that premium format, premium 3D AR format. So it's not just going to be like one of those floppy disk cards or like a trading card. I think the trading cards are cool too, though, because it brings some utility with those physical redemptions that you can redeem them with. So I think they're going to be good too. But I've seen a lot of times people get confused, think like, oh, this is the FA on this platform. Like, I think Wonder Woman was it, in that floppy disk 2D card on a different platform. But in my eyes, I think the FA Wonder Woman that we have is the FA, the first appearance of Wonder Woman in premium digital format. That's the thing that I always say is the difference when someone says, yeah, but this is FA on the blockchain. Yeah, maybe so. But this is FA of premium digital format, of this character or of this, whatever the case is. So I think that's going to mean a lot in the future, especially as more and more brands have digital collectibles from licensed brands. Shout out to K. I'm watching this video right now. Hey, he tagged me. Here come. Watch my drop vid.
We got it, guys. We got it. Johnny Dunn here. Guys, Johnny Dunn here. We're ready for the Toby drop. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, 0. Find out. We got it, guys. We got it. Johnny Dunn drop. That timing. Very, very easy. Every single drop, 100% of the time. But not today. Oh, we can press find out again. See, look at that, guys. Johnny Dunn here. We did it twice in a row. Can we go for the third time? Oh my god, 3 times in a row. Johnny Dunn here. Right. Every single time. And we got a 4th time. Oh, and we get captured because, we're clearly a bot. I'm just kidding, Johnny.
Yo, shout out to K, man.
Let's do this.
Oh my god, that just made me cry. That was so funny. I was not expecting that at all. K, that was hilarious, brother. I just cried laughing. That was hilarious. Did you guys see that? Ooh. Shout out to you, Michael Marquise, or Michael Marcus. If the Toby are not all sold out, does it stay as a blind box format if we want to buy later? It does, I believe. Yup. So that means if they're not sold out and you still hit buy now, you get a secret rare. You could get a 41. Yeah, shout out to K, man. That was hilarious. I did not expect to see that. I just went on Twitter and saw his tag. Shout out to K, man. Oh man, it looks like we got someone upset. Oh man. Shout out to the Wonka boy. Everybody feel like Johnny Dunn today. That's hilarious. See, I'm glad. You know what it is? I think, the tension has gone down a little bit. We can laugh, we can joke. People got the drop. Even though it's not like the most valuable right away, I think, it kind of helps with that tension among a lot of people. Yeah, that's a funny one, man. Shout out to Kay. I'm still laughing about that. Simone, this is hilarious too. I remember I was spamming for this drop. Little did I know I could wait 10 years for us to buy now. But yeah, today's probably one where you could have probably worked on that timing to say, like, even if you pressed early, you'd probably still be able to go back and get it. So I have a feeling they probably didn't go for this one, J Law Studio. Because even when I pressed it, I felt a little bit later than usual, and it just popped up right away. So I feel like you can kind of tell when they are and when they aren't going for it. Random Dodger, any advice new to VeVe today? Shout out to you for joining VeVe. First time joining VeVe. Let's give it up for Random Dodger. Let's go. You know, I think first of all, I want to congratulate you for finding VeVe this early. I would say the number one tip right now I would give to a new user is to really, focus on things that you love, because I think once you start collecting, this is a collecting app for collectors. Now, with that said, there could be investment opportunities possibly here and there, whether it's, something gets dropped and it's under retail or, whatever the case is, right? It is a collecting app for collectors. So that's why I think it's important to collect what you love. There's going to be a day where right now it's not so much to where we can probably almost go for every drop, but soon, eventually, there's going to be a time where they're going to drop a bunch of things, everything. So you're going to have to kind of pick and choose your fandom. With only 15 gems, I would say I don't know if there's too much in the markets you can grab for 15 gems right now. So if you only want to spend 15 gems, maybe you just hold on to it, go for a drop. I will say the drops are kind of hard to get these days, especially if you're new and you don't know all the tips and tricks, etc. But I think the real moves are to be made in the market. That's where you can really capitalize on a lot of different opportunities. But then again, all it takes is one drop just to get lucky, get an ultra rare, secret rare. You can always hodl that, flip that, start your collection that way. Someone just said 15 gems, get a comic book. That is true. Yeah, a lot of comics. I should say there's actually more than I thought in the market for less than 15 gems right now. A lot of comics, even some collectibles that might have just dropped. I'll look at the marketplace again, because even some collectibles that just dropped today, if it's under retail and it's under $15, I'm not saying everything's going to go up in value big time. With 15 gems, you're kind of limited to the chances you can take with different collectibles. I like to try to get duplicates of things, because once you can get a duplicate, that way, if you grow attached to that one collectible, you can always flip that duplicate collectible later once it starts to go up in value. That's definitely helped me build my collection big time. Let's see. The common from today is $15, so a little bit more expensive than I thought, even though that retail is $50. Some of the stamps are pretty cheap too. I would definitely follow Sleepin' Comics and Comics and Crypto on Twitter. Really two great. I'm sure there's a bunch of different comic, gurus in the community by now, but these are two people I love, just trying to pick their brain, with the comics. Comics and Crypto. They have a Twitter right here, Comics and Crypto, and Sleepin' Comics. I'm gonna show Sleepin's. This is Sleepin' Comics too. This is his Twitter. I love both of these, people. They just being able to pick their brain about what they feel about certain comics is amazing. What I like about Comics and Crypto's Twitter is you can click here, go to their link tree. If you're unfamiliar with some of these comics, I've learned a lot from them. You can go to VeVe NFT comic rankings. And now this is just his opinion. People are going to have different opinions, but I really like to hear from what he has to say, what he feels valuable. And so in here, you can look at what he thinks like the top 20, top 15, top 10 comic books are. And so I feel like you can do some research on these, see what Sleepin' Comics has to say. Maybe find maybe top 20, something like that. And then go back into the marketplace, look at some of the comics that are under 15 gems. And maybe you can buy 2 of these comics that are in the top 20. That could be an idea. Advice: buy what you love. You likely can't get everything, so focus on what you love. Don't get discouraged when you see other people's collections. That's huge too, Mark D. That's a good thing. that you said that is because, you know, some people may see my collection be huge, and that can motivate and inspire a lot of people, but that can also deter a lot of people and saying, you know, I'm just starting out. I can't get a collection like that. Why even try? And so I would say, just like what Mark D said, don't let a big collection, you know, discourage you. Perfect word here, because you'll be surprised if you were to interview me back in March in 2021, and you would have told me all the collectibles I have now. I would have said, no way, get out of here, right? You would never expect what can happen in the next few months. You know, next week you could land a secret rare, right? Change your whole entire trajectory. So the drops are like a bonus opportunity to get lucky, you know, turn a couple hundred or turn a low amount into a few hundred or 1,000. Let's go. Reach just hit a rare. Let's go. And so that kind of answered the question. Someone else just asked if it's still a blind box. So Reese just went on and talked about how you can still go on and hit buy now. You never know what you're gonna get. He got a rare. And he got a 403. Let's go, Reese. Shout out to Reese if he's watching right now. Reese just got a 403 rare, and he just clicked buy now. So I'm not telling you guys to go spam and buy them all up, but you know, if you wanted to take a chance, it's still a blind box until it all sells out. Another thing that's helped me, this is just kind of my preference too. You know, I focused early on a lot of the big brands because that's what I loved. And so because they gained popularity, I was able to flip a lot of my duplicates into gems and then buy more collectibles that I liked a lot. Focusing on what you love. First appearances are usually a safe bet just because it's the first appearance of that character in premium digital format. So we've seen it with Wonder Woman. We've seen it with Captain America. Once that first appearance is released, it's going to have that tag of FA if it's a character. Now, if it's a vehicle or artwork, it'll be listed as first edition. It's basically like the brother of first appearance, brother, sister, first appearance. First appearance is going to be that character or that collectible basically in 3D format. So we've seen it with Wonder Woman, Captain America. They'll release the FA first, and then there's probably going to be a ton more that come later. Maybe it's in a better looking version, etc. But I think long term, you know, when there's a bunch of different variations of that character, the fan of that character will probably collect them all. But I think there's going to be a lot of collectors that probably just get the FA. But again, that's kind of my personal collector coming out. I like to collect the FAs. Buy what you love. Anything I should buy now, if possible. So it depends, Random Dodger. I would say, are you able to add in any more gems at all? Because if not, then you're kind of limited. But it's okay still because you can make some moves in the market. Maybe you grab 2 comic books. You know, maybe you grab 2 comics of a pretty valuable comic, maybe top 20 comic, top tier, or maybe you grab a couple stamps from today. Reslone, is that a waving goodbye hand? If so, take it easy, brother. Appreciate you tuning in today. Tuned in the last couple seconds. I'm not sure if you're happy or not with the drop, but I'm glad you're able to go for one at least. Less than $9. Ooh, AKA Bash. This is a tough one. I love both of them. Donald Duck. This is Donald and Daisy FA. It's kind of been staggering around that $600-700 price though. I think that's definitely going to go up more, in my opinion. But Winnie right now is pretty low. I like them both, AKA Bash. Donald's bound to go up soon, but it hasn't. You know, it's been hovering. Winnie's still new. There's probably a lot more editions in the market of Winnie. I like them both. I probably wouldn't sell if my opinion only, not financial advice, Bash. It'd be tough for me to sell a Donald Golden Moment if I only had one of them. Maybe if I had a second Donald, maybe I'd be able to capitalize on, you know, Winnie still being cheap. Maybe That'd be the only way I would let go if I had a duplicate Donald, and I would just try to capitalize on the Winnie gaining some value. But I still see Donald and Daisy doing well. I mean, it's two FAs of iconic characters together in one golden moment. If that's not over $1,000 in a couple months, I'd be surprised. Not financial advice. It's been floating around the 600-700 range for a while. So, could you recommend, if don't mind, or show screen? You want me to recommend exact collectibles or comics, random Dodger? I don't want to recommend exact ones, just because I'm not a financial advisor. No, not financial advice. I just kind of want to give you my opinions, my thought process, and then have you kind of decide on your own. I'll give you my opinions on things that I would target. Let's see here. I'll do exactly what I said too. Go into the VeVe comic rankings. I would say look at like maybe the top 25 comics on VeVe. Maybe even like the top 30. Top 25 on Comics and Crypto's ranking system here. And again, that's Comics and Crypto's Twitter. And then his link tree right there. And I feel like if you can kind of cross-reference some of those top 20s, you can go look in the VeVe market and pick up a couple of these comic books still. I think below. Yeah, definitely. Like the NYX just dropped. That's 980 is the floor. Not financial advice. Let's see here. What else is pretty low right now? Is that the NYX comic number 3? That's 23rd ranked for him. I think that's one of the newer comics that'll probably do pretty well over time. Captain America 117. That's at $13 right now. Captain America number 117. That's like a top 20 he has right there. So the VeVe app looks like this. This is the VeVe app. You're saying you've got the VeVe app. It looks different. I hope you downloaded the right VeVe app. Let's go. Can you make VeVe NFT music just one time for the boys? Yeah, facts. I'm gonna start getting back on my music grind. I've saved a couple beats that I've just set aside that I want to work on. Hey, Reslone. Working on some artwork. I see you. Okay, cool. It's the same app. Yep. So you can mess around with this app. There's different buttons down here. These are like the main buttons you want to look at. Here, you have the store tab here. You can go through all the different brands in the store. The store tab is usually what I'm only on when new drops happen. And then here's my collection. This tab right here will show you all of your showrooms that you have that you can build. If you ever want to add a showroom, click this little add button right up top. Boom. Then you have options. You can create a showroom or what's called an empty space. And then you can get started. Here's all my showrooms. I'll just show real quick. Some of these I just absolutely love. That's my one empty spaces. It's all my showrooms up there. I have all but 2 filled out. One, I tried making a new one, but it wouldn't let me add collectibles in there, so I just haven't started yet. And this one I have saved. This is going to be my first live stream vault ever. So once the web app is there, I have a whole showroom just saved, ready to go from scratch. So I can't wait to live stream that one and build that one. I'm usually only on the collection tab for my showrooms, or if I want to look at my collection. Then we have the feed down here, the feed tab. This is something where as a new user, you might want to get familiar with, start, commenting, leaving status feeds, stuff like that. It's treated like a Twitter, Instagram, show off your collectibles, pictures, all kinds of stuff. I'll go in here and just follow everybody. That one's private. Go in here. Click this one. That one's private. I'll go down and just follow everybody. Then we got the market tab down here. I'm in the market tab all the time. Constantly just looking different stuff. There's different things that you can do. You can search for comics. Now we have all the comics up here. You scroll down. Otherwise, it's going to be collectibles, basically. You can go for the latest collectibles listed. I don't usually like to sort like that way. Usually, I sort by brands. And then this way, you can kind of come in here and just see all the different brands VeVe has, which is just amazing. Anytime you start hearing a lot of FUD, just come in here and just look at all the brands we have. It's just unbelievable. And so, say you go to Disney Golden Moments. So you go to that duck, and then boom, you can buy stuff in that way. If you want to check to see what you have listed, you can go to listings, and then you can see what you have listed. What do I have listed? The only thing really that's for sale that's like a reasonable price that I'm anticipating to sell is this Common Storm. It's a 3-digit. It's a 91 mint. So like that's up there. A lot of these that I have for sale are just 9.9 million. Like I don't anticipate them to sell. It's just a way for people to follow me on the app. So like if you ever wanted to follow me on VeVe, pretty much just look at any big time collectible, Todd, Black Panther, Starfire, Woody, ultra rare Santa Stamp, Superman, Walt, 9.9 mil, and you'll follow, and you'll be able to see my account on VeVe. I think I have Nightwing 1.4K maybe. Yeah, 1500. That one's for sale too. A couple others like this one's for like only 300 maybe. These are all down here for 9.9 mil. Fastos, you can find me on the wall. This Nightwing is not for sale. It's like 9.9 mil. So that's just the listings over there. Oh man, Donald at 3,500. You know what's crazy, Reslone? Like, I thought Donald and Daisy would be 1,000 minimum. You know, if someone told me what is the price, the floor price of Donald and Daisy, Golden Moment, FA, no less than 1,000. Eyes closed, like I would say minimum $1,000. But obviously it's dipped a little bit, 600-700. You know, shout out to K. You know, he's been stacking those ducks. I think that's a good move right there. Yeah, we've all had, you know, plenty of, I would say, mistakes or buying too high of prices. Set number 31. Let's go. You're catching up to me, Mark D. The market's dropping. Not sure why. Yeah. Mark D. Yeah, Simone. I mean, we all kind of want the comics to be in there right away. I think with VeVe, they're going to make sure that it's like perfect. You know, when comics are in the showrooms, we have the case, we all that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be a special way we can put them in the showroom too. They've talked about like a case we can put them in. Now, I don't think it's going to be a case that has a grade on them because there's a lot of backlash with the community. It's probably going to have the rarity and then the mint number on it to show that off. But I'm excited for when that happens, Simone. I mean, just being able to put it on our profile will be a big deal, you know? So I did not end up getting one of these, Shaji. But I probably will pick it up in the marketplace if I make a couple sales because I've been thinking about my Nightwing sells. If I end up selling my Amelia, I may end up grabbing a couple of these really cheap ones. Yeah, Simone, with this, again, I think maybe some things changed, you know, with everything that's happened. I think MTL is probably definitely on their priority list now. You know, maybe time frames have changed a little bit. Technically, he's not wrong, though. It's still going to be within weeks. Just how many weeks is going to be the determining factor there. But they know that we all want it, so I think they're working hard on it. It's just a couple other things probably have to come before that. So we've been waiting. I think they're going to do a good job at it. They kind of want to make sure everything's perfect, I would say. They don't want to like halfway do it. They want to make sure when we have these comics in our showrooms that they look amazing. So I think they're just going to make it perfect when that happens. I'm not too worried about the timetable, though. Absolutely. Yeah, Kiva Cole. 6 collectibles, a secret rare, an ultra rare. This is going to be one of those sets where it's great for new users to come in, pick up Master Collector Program points. I talked about this on the last live stream or even earlier on this one. New users coming into VeVe right now, when the Master Collector Program rolls out eventually, they're going to be saying probably, oh, VeVe only rewards the big collectors, the big whales. Well, it's like when we have opportunities like this and you see a full set under retail almost, especially a full set that has 6 collectibles, a secret rare and ultra rare in them, that's going to give you a lot of Master Collector Program points. So it's not that most valuable right now in the short term. I'm sure that'll go up, though, especially once interoperability is here. And this gives a great opportunity for new users to come in and stack those MCP points. I got 5 comments so far. Thanks for the advice. Very appreciate it. Absolutely random. And Random Dodger, if you're on Twitter, reach out to me, Johnny Dunn 7. DM me anytime you got questions. Instagram, Johnny Dunn 7 on Instagram, Johnny Dunn 777 on Twitter. I'm not sure if I said 3 7s or not, but 3 7s on Twitter, 1 7 on Instagram. Reach out to me anytime you got questions. I'll try my best to answer it as quick as I can in the DMs. But always try to help out those new users. And I go live all the time. Right now, it's only been for the drops, but I'm going to change that up again, especially as we get the new drop system coming out soon. I doubt I'm going to be able to only stream the live drops. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos, a lot more live. So just want to be able to help out new users, It can be daunting almost. VeVe app is so great because it's simple. It's simple, easy to use and learn it, but it can be daunting at the same time because it's almost like, where do you start? There's so many collectibles, so many brands, so many comics, and it's still just starting. So it can definitely be like, well, where do I even begin, So anytime I can try to just be here and just help you out, pick my brain, because I don't want to tell you, buy this, buy that, and buy this, because I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I point out may not just boom right away. We all don't know the timing of things, but at least I can try to have you pick my brain, tell you what's worked for me, what I enjoy, how I would start if I was to start right now and stuff like that. And then you can kind of make your own decisions based on that. Appreciate it big time. How did you find VeVe? I want to ask you that because I always try to figure out. A lot of people found VeVe from certain influencers, etc. But I always try to figure out, was it like a Disney tweet or Pixar tweet, whatever it was? What was it that made you find it? And then what made you want to try it? Because there's been plenty of people who said VeVe's a scam. You can't cash out. I'm not trying it. And I mean, I understand that. But once you start digging into the team that's involved, you may start to get a little bit more confident in this project. Got 2 common duplicate. Oh, okay. 2 common duplicates. I mean, the good thing about this, Edwin, is, in a few months or a few weeks, whenever these start to go up in value, you do have a duplicate. I can only imagine. Just imagine what's going to happen to the market when VeVe does make the announcement. Okay, all your artist collectibles are now interoperable. You can send them to your IMX wallet, your Immutable X wallet. Oh my gosh, the FOMO in the market is going to be unbelievable. Whether that's Frank Kozik, Ron English, Jermaine Rogers, Simone Legnu, Gary Baseman, I think those artist collectibles will start to go crazy once that happens. So people are going to want to try it out, see what that marketplace is like, see if you can sell it for OMI, Ethereum. On a green truck high today. Let's go. Your username is not a bot. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you really aren't a bot. But I will talk about that though. The high of these drops, when that's half of it. That's why it's so much fun when I land these drops. Not so much today, but when it's an absolute instant sellout and you're able to still grab these drops, one clicking it too. Oh my gosh, the feeling is indescribable. I mean, I think people start to get that feeling once they hit once or twice, and it's like, holy cow, this is amazing. It's like exactly that's the feeling. It's like, it feels like you beat out, thousands of people. 5 commons, let's go. Miss Rose stacking them. Commons are so cheap right now to where even if they got back to retail, when they get back to retail, it's going to be like a 4x probably. Yeah, $15 right now. It makes me want to pick up at least a couple. Crazy. It really is like a 4x if you just gets back to retail. Holy cow. Wow. Okay. So the good news is I'm seeing a bunch of real accounts though. Wow. That's the difference. It's weird that people are still selling it under retail. But look at the difference. Ready? You know how usually when you go for a drop and then you go in the marketplace and you look at all the private, no profile pictures, a lot of people think the bots didn't go for this drop. Look in the market. I still got one down here. But then if you go back and say, let's look at the comments. Almost, well, there of course there has to be a profile and a non-profile picture. At least it's not private. Because again, just because they don't have a profile picture doesn't mean it's not real, but definitely more shady. Look at this. It looks like all real people almost, which is a great sign. People still replying to K's tweet. It's hilarious, man. Shout out to K for doing that. I thought that was hilarious. Especially because he got 4 of them. Way too cheap to pass. Yeah, I think I may have to get a couple real quick. Watch this one though again.
Johnny Dunn here. We're ready for the Toby drop. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, 0. Bye now. We got it, guys. We got it. Johnny Dunn here because I hit every drop. You know that timing. Very, very easy. Every single drop, 100% of the time. But not today. Oh, we can press play now again. See, look at that, guys. Johnny Dunn here. Can we go for the first time? Oh my god, 3 times in a row. Johnny Dunn here. 100% drop rate. Every single time. And we got a 4th time. Oh, and we get captured because, we're clearly a bot. I'm just kidding, Johnny. Hey, guys. Johnny Dunn here.
Shout out to K, man. That was hilarious. I may have to buy some of these. I know they're probably going to announce Rewind right after I buy some of these. But I love the fact that these look like real people, though. I'm just confused. If these are all real people, why would you really sell them that low? It's just hold on to it. The $16. But again, you don't know what people are going through in their own situation, so you don't know. $16. If you could flip it, I just don't know why you would go for it, spend the 50, and then flip it right away. But teach his own. Maybe they're shooting for a low mint. If they don't get the low mint, they just want to try to get any gems back possible. Secret Rare going for 125 right now. If anybody ever wanted to stack Secret Rares, Ultra Rare going for $49.98. Let's see. Yeah. The rares are going for 27. Uncommons are going for 17. And the commons are going for 15 right now. I think you know, in a few more months, that won't even be close to the prices. He's in the supermarket. I saw the toilet paper. I didn't see the toilet paper. Good catch, Miss Rose. Yeah, it looks like he was shopping or something. Family friend told me about it. He apparently started with 10 gems and made up to 7,000 in 3 months, but sadly not able to show how to get going. Oh, okay. So that's amazing. Shout out to your family friend who started with 10 gems. You know, I've seen this so many times. You know, Sam Ellis, you know, someone in the community started with, I think, just a couple hundred and turned into like thousands of dollars, tens of thousands. I think recently he just said he put in more money, but I mean, when you start with just a couple hundred and you turn it into tens of thousands of dollars, I mean, that just shows the power of VeVe, right? And things probably are a little bit different, you know, maybe 3 months ago or 6 months ago, etc. But I would say even right now, compared to 3 months ago, a lot of prices have dipped. So I feel like right now could be a huge opportunity. Not financial advice, but I remember for me back in March 2021 when I joined, there was a lot of FUD going on. People were saying all kinds of crazy things just to make you not believe in it. But I believed and I went hard. I made huge investments at the time to where, you know, that's what I was able to build my collection into today. Less than 1,000 of these were made in the real world. Crazy. And it just shows the kind of fan base that we have right now, Crypto King. I feel like a lot of people just aren't into his work and the art itself. I think most of the time, I feel like majority of the community right now in VeVe is kind of that same feeling that I have. We're kind of more so into the big brands, the Disney, the Batman. But again, just because I'm into it a little bit more, or just because you think, or the fan base right now of VeVe is a little bit more into the IP brands, does not mean that the art collectibles are worth any less. In fact, some of these art collectibles could probably be even worth more than some of the big IP. Not everyone, but you'd be surprised what some artwork goes for in the future. So I agree, Crypto King. I think once, you know, more and more fans of art come into VeVe and not just the crypto background, I think that's going to be a game changer too. Noble Matt, he's back. Appreciate you for coming back. I'm going to be signing off in just a minute. Got 2 drops today. You know, first one, the USPS Title 9. Shout out to anybody who was able to pick them up. Again, I don't think, where I do think that we're going to get thousands of stamps one day. I think we're going to get, you know, probably stamps for every holiday, every special occasion. I think these are going to do pretty decent long term, just because it's not like a random holiday type stamp. This is something that, you know, the historical significance is pretty valuable, especially for International Women's Month. I think that's big. The name of this artist is Gary Baseman. So I think, you know, for any kind of artist that drops that you're not familiar with, I would not look at the market price to determine its value. That's just what it's going for currently. I think once more people probably dive in, learn more about the history of this artist, maybe they understand the value, or maybe they become fans themselves. That's what's happened to me. You know, the more I looked into Jermaine Rogers, the more I fell in love with his art. And so I think these artist collectibles have a lot of room to grow. May not be the most sought after right away, but again, I've seen this happen multiple times. You know, a lot of times it just takes time. You know, months from now, people will probably be laughing at this live stream of all the prices on what's in the market right now. So I'm not telling you that to go unload and buy everything in the market right now, because you got to collect what you love too. If you don't love it, you know, maybe it's best you just stay away from it, which is perfectly fine too. But I will say in the future too, for anyone who dislikes the drop and it's not for you, no, it's not for you, and that's perfectly okay. It may be someone else's favorite drop. So I would just say in the future, try not to attack, especially the artist dropping or anybody who's into a certain collectible, because just because you're not a fan of it, just because you may not have heard of it, it could be someone else's favorite drop that they're excited for. So I always have that in the back of my mind too when I do these drop live streams, because you guys know I'm more of a fan of the bigger IP, but hey, I think these artist collectibles will be great too. I don't think we've seen the real fan base for art just yet. So once that comes, these could definitely explode. But without all that being said, I'm signing out today. You know, great live stream, great 2 drops today. I'm going to post out any kind of announcement on the next drop. VeVe tweets out. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the YouTube, Instagram. Try to get it out there ASAP. I'm excited. We don't know if Rewind's for sure going to drop again. They've tweeted out that they're going to be dropping in March. I think maybe the 30th. But again, a delay could happen. You never know. You know, VeVe hasn't tweeted a drop for them just yet. So until VeVe drops it, it's unofficial. Once VeVe drops it, it's official. So I have a feeling they may drop it either later today once I get off the live stream, or maybe tonight, tomorrow. Should be another drop coming soon, though, I expect. I'm not sure what's the drop going to be. Probably going to be Rewind. Take care, Saji. Yeah, definitely. We'll have a chat in the DMs. Random Dodger, are you on Twitter? If you are and you follow me, I'll make sure I follow you back. If you are on Twitter, write real quick in the chat before I go, what is your username? And I'll give you a follow. Or on Instagram if that's where you're at. I want to try to connect with you. Make sure I got you down. Ooh. He didn't want it open to the public, so it's pretty cool that we did get it. Yeah, Random Dodger. Oh, you're not on Twitter? Okay, got you. Are you on Instagram or any other platform we can connect? If not, you know, I'm sure I'll be able to connect with you on YouTube. But if there's a way, you know, if you're on Instagram, give me a follow, Johnny Dunn 777. And that way you can send me a DM, ask me any kind of questions. Got email. Solid. Well, if you got email, you can make an Instagram account or a Twitter account. I would definitely hop on Twitter too, just for the Comey updates, stuff like that. But if not, we can definitely chat on the YouTube live next time. Maybe I'll walk you through some things that I would do. If I was just starting out, I would, you know, I would really look at some comic books that are cheap. Like a top 20 ranking. If you can get a couple of common comics, maybe even uncommon, if you can grab at least maybe 2 of the top 20 comic books, I think at least a double. You know, once we can put these in our showrooms profile, not financial advice, of course. This is just my opinion only. So maybe make some moves in the market, get some cheap comics that are, you know, top 20-ish right now. Or maybe just hold and go for a drop. You know, you don't have to have gems in your account to go for a drop either. That definitely makes it easier and a little bit safer because you can go for a drop, try to add in gems, and then the app could crash on you. I've seen that happen. So it depends if you want to take that risk for a drop. Maybe you get a couple comics and then just wait until to see if you can land a drop, and then maybe add gems in there if you do get lucky. If I see follow on Instagram, I'll make sure I follow you back. Send me a DM as well, brother. Let me know what your username is. With all that being said, you know, great live stream today, guys. 2 of them. Appreciate all support from everybody. Glad Miss Rose hit. I would say December hit too, but probably fall asleep right now. Probably fall asleep late night. Trying to have some people who haven't hit in a while, you know, hit a drop. So appreciate everybody new tuning in today. Hope everybody was able to grab something they wanted. With all that being said, I'm signing out today. It's your boy, Johnny Dunn. We out, fam.